I think we're live. Let me check. Messed up my wrist last night. All right. I can't tell if we're live or not. If we are, I might as well start talking now. We are live. Sweet. Oh, what a game week. And I got my vote. Eric Castillo, what's up, man? How's your game week? Let me get to your comment real quick. Make sure this is all right. Sweet. We're live, man. All right, let's see. Game week. All right, so game week 6, almost over. There's still a couple games to be played. We still got Brighton and West Brom and Burnley and Tottenham up next. So we still got a couple games to go. But another wild game week 6, to say the least. My wild card didn't go as well as I was hoping it was going to go. In fact, I guess I'll get to that later. I'm going to get to some comments first, and I'll get to how my squad did. Yeah, what's up, Eric? Let's see. What's up, my friend? I hope the wild card went well. Yeah, so far the wild card went well. I think it was still better than my squad did last week. If I would have not wild carded. The crazy thing so far with my squad is, if you can see here, my 2 best scoring players are the 2 players I thought wasn't going to score this week. So when I went into the week, I looked at Chilwell and I was like, Chilwell's going up against United. I mean, I know United have had their problems so far to start the season, but I still didn't expect Chilwell to come away with a clean sheet. And then Antonio was playing against City, and I had both Chilwell and Antonio I had in for like the future, not so much this game week, but I didn't want to waste a transfer to bring him in next game week or the week after. So I said, I'm just going to bring him in now. Antonio goes ahead and gets a goal and 3 bonus points, even though he got subbed off at like 59th minute. So Antonio was huge for me. Chilwell were huge. And that's crazy. Those were the 2 guys I was not expecting to have any points from. Right now I'm sitting at 27 points, which I mean there's no getting around it. Whether it's just bad, man. It hurts to get that little points. But I still got 3 to go. I got Lamptey, Son, and Kane still to go. So hopefully they can redeem me and kind of give me a nice little green arrow tomorrow. But again, man, Chilwell and Antonio, they were huge for me. 2 guys I thought no chance they're going to get any points. And they come away with 14 themselves, get half my points between themselves. Going up against top 6 squads. 2020, man. All right, so now let's see. How's your week been? Yeah, my week's been good. My FPL wasn't that great, and Barcelona lost in Champions League. Or not Champions League. They lost in El Clasico yesterday. So other than that, I've had a good week. Thanks for asking. Bad week for me. Hoping, I think a lot of people, on a side note, a lot of people are having a very hard game week 6. It's almost like it's coming in waves. It's like game week 5, a lot of people scored high, but game week 4, a lot of people were struggling. So hopefully game week 7 turns things around. But you still have Son and Kane and Kane's your captain to go, and Mopé. I mean, you're saying I'd be very optimistic if I were you. I mean, at the end of the day, if Kane blanks, you would be in the club with pretty much every other FPL manager who captained some major players. Mute my phone. Yeah, I'd be super optimistic. Mopé has a great schedule going up against West Brom. He come away with good points, and then Son and Kane are just on fire. So I'd be super positive if I were you, optimistic, and thinking you can come away with a really good game week. Let's see, Daff. I'm having let's see, 13 points with -4. Oh, that's one you write home about, man. That's a pin that one and come back to that at the end of the year is one of those weeks. 13 with -4. Captain Bale, Bane. I almost said Bane. I need to really zoom in on my phone. So I'm reading the comments. Anyway, got Captain Kane. So again, something to be optimistic about. At least you have your captain still to play, and he's a phenomenal player. So it could be 15 with -4 to play. If you captain Salah like I did. You still got Bale. Bale definitely is concerning, but Trossard or Reguilon, I think with that triple Spurs, I mean, we'll see what happens with Bale, of course, because he could just come in the 80th minute and get one shot off and miss it again. But because he said he was a bit stiff after the Champions League game, right? But I mean, I still feel optimistic. Reguilon can get some good points. He's high probability that he gets a clean sheet, potentially an assist. So you could come away with 33 points on a -4. And at that point, I mean, This week has been wild. 33 I'd be happy with. 13 -4. Ah, that's rough. Oh, man. Let's see. 0 returns. You've had 0 returns. I had that a couple weeks ago. It's not fun. Not fun. If everyone blanks, so if everyone blanks, you'd have King get 4. Let's say Reguilon comes away with 2. Bale comes away with 2. You're sitting at 8 points. 8 plus Trossard, 10 points. At the end of the day, so 23 points with a -4, 19 points. Oh, that's rough, especially considering Bamford got 18. Come away with 18. One of those weeks. Well, hopefully, I mean, again, hopefully we come away with some good Spurs return, and you never know with Trossard, man. He can come away with one of those weeks too. Oh, that's rough though. Yeesh. All right, Sana says 17 points so far. A lot of people, I mean, at this point, if you have a lot of people are scoring very low, but you still have a good amount of people going left. So you still have what do you say, Son, Kane captain, and Mopé. So you can come away with a good amount of points to end the week. So I mean, we still have one more. We still got some time. I was shocked with DCL. DCL. I feel like it was going to be a constant conversation today. Somebody we're going to be talking about a lot. I'll say this. This is the first week in my FPL career that I've ever owned DCL. Ever. He had, from what I heard, he had five touches in the game, period, and 3 of them were from the kickoff. He had 0 shots. And a yellow card. More yellow cards than he had shots. So, DCL. I know it's a bit knee jerk, and it's a Sunday afternoon here, Sunday after the game's finished. But it's tough. It's looking forward to DCL's future. It's kind of tough right now. I don't know why I clicked that. Messed up the screen. But it's kind of tough because as long as Richarlison's out, you don't have that second runner to kind of go back. It's tough. Hamas is hurt. You have Digne, who's now out for 3 games. Seamus Coleman's out for a couple more, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he did nothing. It's tough. I don't know what to do. What are you guys going to do with DCL? Are you going to hold off for another week and just hope that he can score against Newcastle, or are you going to move on? The only problem is I don't know who I would go with at that price bracket. Because I could drop down to Bamford. Oh, camera. I could drop down to Bamford, but I don't know if Bamford is. I don't know. I guess should we just talk about that right now? I'll do some research, but DCL is somebody that I'm definitely worried about moving forward. If Hamas is hurt, he has nobody around him to create. I mean, Richarlison's still out for 2 more game weeks. Digne is out for 3, and it's tough, man. I don't know what to do. I know he has a pretty decent schedule coming up. I guess we'll look at it right now. Newcastle away, United at home, and then he's got 3 in a row that are good. And that Fulham game in game week 9 is, I think that's when Richarlison comes back. And so on positive note, if you can hold off till game week 9, but that's such a long way away. If you can hold off till game week 9, he'll have Richarlison back. You would assume, because there's an international break in there as well. And so it's essentially pretty much a month from now is that game week 9. And so maybe Richarlison will back and he'll be able to help out DCL, because right now, man, he did nothing. Me and him had the same amount of shots today. What do you guys plan to do with him? Because again, there's some good prices. I think Bamford has scored more FPL points this season than DCL has. I guess I'll look at the forward replacements. Let me see. As far as total points, I don't know if you guys can see that, but Bamford's outscoring DCL this season, which is wild considering how many goals DCL has scored so far. One sec. Sorry, I just sent off a tweet letting people know that I'm going live, and I'm back. Sorry, it's hard for me to multitask, man. I blame my mama. I don't blame my mama. Let's see. Yeah, so, and I don't want to go with Wilson. I feel like he's just way too hit and miss. He's got a tough schedule coming up. I don't think that's a decent replacement. I don't want to go with Shea Adams. I don't want to go with Mopé. I'm behind on comments, so I'll go ahead and get to comments now. But Yeah, it's tough at that price. I should go to price real quick. At that 7 range. Yeah, I don't know if there's anybody I'd really necessarily want. If anything, I'd probably let me get out of here and stop moving the screen so much so you guys can not have your eyes be hurting. Let's see. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I could hold. My plan right now is to hold a transfer and see what happens after next game week, but we'll come back. Let's see. I brought in Kane and Trossard for Pulisic and Werner. I did it to get Kane. I feel like my screen is too big. Let me fix that real quick. Sorry I put you guys through the matrix. Let me just shrink this a wee bit so you can see more of my screen. Yeah. So let's see. You brought in Kane and Trossard for Pulisic and Werner. That was a good move. I feel like Werner's... It's hard for Werner. He's out so wide on the wing. I looked at his heat map because I didn't finish the second half of the game. I only watched the first half. I looked at his heat map after the game, and it was just... it was poor. He's not getting as many shots off as I would want, and Chelsea aren't really firing right now. So it's hard for me to really bring in Werner. I'm not against that, but... I mean, Kane and Trossard... So if you look at that, your week could have been really, really bad. Because then he'd be sitting at 18 minus 4 with 2 to go. Am I not mistaken? Sorry, I'm behind on comments. I'll catch up once again. I have value in DCL. How much did you get it for? 7-1? And Rodriguez. So holding until they have the 3 nice games. I think that's what I'm going to do too. The thing with DCL is he's kind of like the same-ish type of Vardy. I'm not comparing him to Jamie Vardy at all. But at the same time of like, he could have like 4 touches in a game and come away with a goal. That's kind of the player he is. And to be completely honest, I wasn't expecting him to score against Southampton because Southampton center backs are good in the air. They're big boys. And with Hamas limping pretty much the whole game or Charleston out, I wasn't expecting too much, but I was definitely expecting more than 0 shots and 5 touches. But I think I'm with you. I think I'm going to hold on and wait because those game week 9 to 11 are juicy. Let's see. I agree. I think I'm going to keep both. I would too. Who would you recommend to have in the team for the next few game weeks? I haven't done enough research yet on that. I'm still just enjoying the game week. I haven't really looked forward to next game week at all. I think there are players on my watch list that I would consider. I think you're seeing a lot of them now because I did Wildcard. So I like Antonio. I would say wait till game week 8 for Antonio, but I think he looks good, period. He's already scored against some of the biggest clubs. He scored against City this weekend, Antonio. He scored against Leicester, and he scored against Arsenal. So he's already scored against some of the bigger clubs in the league. And he does go up against Liverpool next, but Liverpool aren't the same defensive unit as we're accustomed to. So Antonio is good, but you could wait till game week 8 for Antonio if you're waiting for more fixture. And he's hurt. He got pulled off early in this weekend, so you want to see what happens with him. Chilwell would be on my radar. I really like if United could kind of figure out get back to their attacking ways. I like United's fixtures come game week 9. I think they're quality as far as fixture wise. I would like to get Bruno in around that time maybe, especially because Suns fixtures get really bad around that time. Chilwell I like a lot. I have my eyes on Telles. He's not back in the squad yet, so I would like to keep my eyes on him. But that's just off the top of my brain. I'm not exactly sure. Obviously, Bamford looks good. He scored a Hattie, and he's only like 5.8. He might go up in price tonight, so 5.9. But that's just off the top of my brain. I haven't done enough research going into game week 7 yet. Let's see. I'm definitely targeting Antonio for game week 8. Yeah, Antonio, he's scoring against the biggest clubs. His expected goal is one of the highest in the league. He's getting off a ton of shots. His teammates are pretty good at creating opportunities for him to get some shots off. I think before this game week they were 5th in shots created per 90. So West Ham are decently creating a lot of opportunities for Antonio, and he's putting them away. And then come game week 8, you want to look at the schedule real quick? We'll go to his schedule come game week 8. He has Fulham, Sheffield, Villa, United, then Leeds, Crystal Palace. So he only faces United, Chelsea, and he only faces squads until game week 21. Unless you want to count Everton, but we'll see what happens with Everton in the future. But a very favorable schedule for him. And at the time, he could score against anybody. I don't know if he's fixture proof, but he's certainly showing so to start the season. Let's see. I'm giving Van Aanholt one more game week. If he doesn't start, yeah, that's rough. I thought for sure he was going to start this week. That's a tough one. He was somebody I was looking at, especially because their fixtures are so good. I thought for sure that he was going to start at left back, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch most of the game. I only watched like the first 30 minutes before I had to go. Some life things happened. But from what I heard, he went to left back and Mitchell moved to right back, if I'm not mistaken. But Van Aanholt is somebody that, if I had him, you're right. I think if I had him, I would say to keep him, but I wouldn't be somebody that I would buy right now. It would be more of a wait and see, because he could still be on penalties in the future. But that is frustrating. He didn't start again. That's 2 games. He said he was ready to go 2 weeks ago to FPL Traore, and he's still not ready. So I agree. One more week. I want to look at your squad, FPL Swan. I want to look at your squad. I forgot who you have in your squad. I know you have Gareth Bale. What do you plan on doing with him? I guess it's too early. We want to see what happens tomorrow. But that's my thoughts. Let's see. Going to change Mopé to Antonio game week 7-8. I like that, because Mopé, I think he faces Tottenham next week. Decent-ish. I think he has a decent-ish fixture game week 8. I guess I'll look right now. Lamptey. He's facing Burnley in game week 8, so that's another week that he could score. But I'm a big fan of Antonio. And he's a little cheaper than Mopé, so you can move that funds around a little bit. I think it's only like 0.3, but 0.3 goes a long way, especially to start the season. Let's see. DCL from game week 1. That's so sick, man. I forgot that you had that. I forgot you were one of the 3% who had DCL game week 1. I'm super jealous. Were you pumped when you got that hat trick? I was a big, like, when that happened as a non-owner, that was freaking awesome. But I feel like as an owner, because especially he was at a lower percentage at that moment, and so you would have had a nice green arrow, man. I would have been pumped. Let's see. Who would I change for Chilwell? To bring in Chilwell, you mean? Or to take out Chilwell? Because I wouldn't take out Chilwell. Because Chilwell right now... Oh, yeah, to bring in Chilwell. Yeah, because they're playing a 3-4-3, and he was playing on as almost like a left wing back, and he was already getting up the pitch enough as it was in a 4-man back line. And so if he's playing left wing back consistently, dude, Chilwell is looking nice for the future. And he has good fixtures coming up too. Let's see. You have Castagna, Mings, Seiss, Robertson, and Mitchell. Who would I change? Everyone out. I think out of those people, I would change. I would. Maybe Mings. I'd probably get rid of Mings. Who's your keeper? If you have Martinez in goal, I would for sure get rid of Mings. If not, Seiss getting subbed off today was definitely worrying, because they pretty much kept in Kilman and took out Seiss to bring in Marçal. So is that a sign of the future, saying that Seiss is going to be the one to go and not Kilman? Because again, Kilman looked great last week. I talked about this in the stream. He looked phenomenal last game week, and he looked just as good this week. I mean, he was phenomenal. So it's hard for 2 great game weeks in a row. It would be hard for me to bench someone with that form. And so I'm almost worried about Seiss in the future, because as a left wing back, he just doesn't look as good as he does as a center back, left center back. But maybe I would hold an eye out. I mean, you could take I still like Robertson for at least one more game week, seeing what Alisson has. I guess we'll talk about that a little later. But out of your squad, top of my head, without doing any research onto your squad, I'd probably say Mings then Seiss, if I had to. But apparently he's out of contract in the summer. Oh yeah, I got. Let me see. Your squad just pulled up to me right now. Let me pull it up. He's got Martinez. Semedo is a bit frustrating, isn't it? What are you planning on to do with Semedo? So Semedo, Van Aanholt. I like Reguilon a lot. I really like him. That's his back line. His back line, he has Semedo, Reguilon, and Patrick Van Aanholt. Van Aanholt, if he's starting, I like him a lot. Reguilon does have a tough run of fixtures come game week 9. That does worry me a little bit, but he's getting so forward so far to start the season. I still like him even with those fixtures as of right now. I think you said a tweet earlier that you're talking about Mahrez and Bale being your next ones to go. I want to be against that, because even if Semedo's not playing as or not getting any attacking returns. He still has 2 more favorable fixtures coming up. So, man, Mahrez is a tricky one for me. Yeah, Mahrez is a tricky one for me in your squad. Because he's one of those guys I thought was going to have I've been a big fan of Mahrez since the Leicester days when he was just balling out there. I always wondered why he wasn't getting more playing time. But he's not... that City offense is... that City attack isn't nearly what it was these past couple of years. And I wonder if they're just going through a little bit of a hitch, or if it's, or if they're missing, or they kind of relied on KDB to do all the attacking for them. Something similar to what Barcelona did these last couple of years with Messi. Let's see. What are you going to do with James Rodriguez if he's injured? It depends on how long he's injured for. I know hamstrings can be very serious, and they can be very not serious. So I'm waiting to hear what they say over the press conference. If he's out this game week, and I think I would probably still hold on to him for one more game week, just so I could have 2 free transfers and not have to use a -4. Because at that moment I could probably bring in Pulisic for James Rodriguez if I move some funds around. That would be probably the person I would look forward to the most to swap. Would be to bring in Pulisic. See, hopefully at that point, 3 game weeks or 3 matches for Pulisic. Now he's ready and ready to go. Man, I'm stumbling through my words right now. But that's probably my plan. I want to wait until Ancelotti talks about him, and then take his word with a grain of salt. But that's my thoughts right now. I still like James a lot. He still has a good run of fixtures for the next 5, and he's still Everton's main man, in my opinion. He's what makes him tick. So I'm gonna hold on to him for now. I have a lot of money tied up in him, but if he's out for multiple game weeks, I'm gonna have to do some serious thinking. I don't know if there's anybody below Rodriguez that I would want around that price. I mean, I could bring in Foden, but I don't like having somebody at 6.5 who's not going to start every week. Just my 2 cents. DCL game week 1, yeah, that's so sick. If I could turn back the hands of time in FPL, I would have DCL and Son in my team from game week 1. Even with the Son in the blanking first game week, I would still have him, man. If you just had DCL and Son and Kane, just those 3 guys, you would be sitting at a really nice rank, regardless of what the rest of your squad did. They're on fire. Let's see. Mr. Enigma, what's up? I don't know exactly the year this England shirt is. I can't recall. I'd have to look it up. I think it probably was the 04 shirt, because I think I remember Beckham wearing this shirt. But this was a sick one, man. I don't know if you can see it if the camera picks it up. But this is a dope one, because I forgot what city I was in England, but I was walking and I saw a thrift store, and I bought this for like £1. This is a £1 jersey. Incredible. I know. I'm a big fan of this jersey. Anyway, I think it might be an 04 shirt. I have to research it. All I know is it's dope, and it's a one that can flip inside out, and it has Umbro on the other side. So I just unbuttoned it, but it's a sweet shirt. I like it, man. £1. You can't buy much better for £1. You can't even get chicken and chips for £1. You get a Chance the Rapper album for free, so that's pretty much might be better than this England shirt, but this is probably second best behind that. Yeah, I saw your team's FPL SWAT. I mean, it's just a tough game week. You used your wildcard 2 weeks ago, right? So so that's already used up. I still like your squad moving forward. I know you had one bad game week with that squad, but I wouldn't be too down in the dumps about it. I mean, I still like Salah. I still like James, depending on if he's healthy or not. DCL is a question mark, I'm not going to lie, but I still like Kane. And Bale, I want to wait till tomorrow before I give a verdict on him. Because even when he came in for those last, 15, 20 minutes last week, I was expecting him to be rusty, but that one run just brought glimpses of just the Gareth Bale that I love back. So I want to wait till tomorrow to pull a verdict out. But Mars is definitely one that's screaming on your page. But that's a frustrating one too, because he could play next week and he could come away with 12 points, and I wouldn't be surprised. But Mars is definitely somebody I'm looking at your squad. That's a rough one. I wish I could show it here. Let's see, Kilman is 4-1 and Sice is 5-2. Yeah, that's the thing. If Kilman nails down that center back spot, I don't care what his schedule is, get him in your squad. Because the schedule does get tougher, I believe, after game week 8. 8 or 9. Anyway, one of those two. But at 4-1, if he's playing on one of the best defenses in the Prem over the past year, 4.1 is a bargain. You're probably even if you get him in now and he doesn't consistently play, I think he still gets you some good value as far as price rises. Keep until everything else is fixed. Yeah, tough. Let's see, Mr. Enigma. Who would you pick out of Ings and Jimenez? I think, without looking at their schedule, I like Danny Ings better. I think he's no disrespect to Raul Jimenez. I think Ings is a better player just because I think really highly of Danny Ings. But Jimenez, as you saw today, all he needed was one opportunity and you put it away. Nice finish too. Nice little one touch. He got in a great position. You saw him kind of trail out as soon as that set piece went in. They found an exact spot, kind of guessing, knowing where the ball would go, and he just put that thing away, man. It was nice. But again, I still, even though Wolves won, it's hard because part of me says I don't necessarily like them moving forward. They're not attacking with any creativity right now. But if Jimenez scores, he's getting bonus points, which is huge. But I guess Danny Ings is doing the same. But in my opinion, I like Danny Ings more. I just think he's just he's got to be a top 3 striker in the Prem, right? I wouldn't even say like not even right now, just period. Let's see. But I don't know. I'm a big fan of Danny Ings. Where am I at? Mars is such a frustrating player, and I thought he'd kick on. Yeah, I had Mars last season after lockdown, and it was so frustrating because one week he'd be benched, the next week he'd get a 2-pointer, and the next week he would score 15 points, and then he'd be benched the week afterwards. And so you're just thinking like, dude, this guy's hot. You got to keep playing him, and he just sits a bench. But it's tough, man. Mars is tough. You're right. He is frustrating. It's not the thing with Mahrez is that if I ditched him, I wouldn't be. If I kept him, I would have the headache every week of if he's going to start or not, and then I would have the headache every week of this City attack right now, which is not clicking on all cylinders right now. And his ownership is probably so low that if he does score, it's not going to hurt your rank. Obviously, if you had him, it would it would help out a lot. But I think at 8.5, 8.4, whatever he is now, there's just a lot of options that, I don't know, I think I'd rather go other routes, but Mahrez is frustrating, man. But in the best way, because you know how good he can be. Zuma or Chilwell? I'm always picking the left back. I'm always picking a fullback over a center back. And that's nothing against Zuma. He played a really good match today. He scored a couple game weeks ago. But Chilwell is getting so advanced on this squad. They're playing in. If they continue to playing how they did today, they're playing a 3-man back line and having them play as a. Oh, camera went out. Didn't even hear that one. That's gonna be off for a while. And people are gonna come on and see this black screen be happening. Anyway, I like Chilwell a lot, man. He's getting so far up the pitch, and I think he's gonna get a lot more attacking returns than he did when he was at Leicester. And the crazy thing is this Chelsea unit hasn't really been firing attacking wise, and so once they get clicking, assuming they do start clicking attacking wise, Chilwell is going to be involved in a lot of maybe not a lot, but a good amount of attacking returns. Add that to the fact that with Mendy in goal, and now that Thiago Silva is looking, Silva-like, I think this team's going to hold a decent amount of clean sheets. Not like a crazy amount, but more than we expected going into the season. I think Mendy looks like a good goalkeeper. I think that's 2 clean sheets now that he's had, 2 for 2. Someone please fact check me on that, but squeaking again. But I'd always go fullback over center back. Depends on who you'd rather watch playing every week. I'd go Ings because Wolves have been slow this season. Yeah, that's the thing. I still think Southampton's a better unit than Wolverhampton at the moment, attacking wise, as far as creativity. I still think Wolverhampton will. Let me take that back. Wolverhampton, I think, is a better squad, but I still like what Southampton is doing moving forward more than I like what Wolverhampton is doing moving forward. And among many reasons, that's probably why I'd go with Danny Ings. I agree with Daff. FPL Swan. Hey, I'm back in. What's up, Archie? Welcome back. How'd you do this week? Did you have a good game week? I hope you did. That'd be sweet. Anyway, Let's see, 29 points. Sadesh has 29 points so far with Mopé and Sun left. You know the game week is bad when Sice is your highest point scorer and he didn't even play the entire 90. It's a good thing he didn't play the entire 90. He came away with a clean sheet and he got a bonus points too, right? Even though, I would feel I feel a bit jaded if I was like a Semedo owner or a Bali owner and Sice came away with clean sheets because Sice has such a high ownership right now that that one hurts. But yeah, I agree. I think Chilwell got a clean sheet and he's my second highest goal or second highest point scorer this week. So I hear you. 29 points is nothing to be too upset about. A lot of people are having a really rough game week. So 29 points, that's not bad. Do you have anybody left? Oh yeah, Mopé and Sun left. You could easily come away in the 40s. Easily coming away in the 40s. Let's see. Yo, my bro, what's up, man? Welcome. What's up? Tough week for fantasy. Real tough week for fantasy. I was just saying earlier in the stream, it's crazy. It's almost like there's this wave of like game week 4 was really tough for a lot of people. Game week 5 was an incredibly high scoring average. And then game week 6, everyone blanked again. So yeah, another really tough week for fantasy. Unless you had Bamford. If you had Bamford, fair play. And you, him alone probably gave you the average right now or going into today. But yeah, really rough week for fantasy. Really rough week. Watching Bale tomorrow going to be interesting. Yeah, that's going to be... I know I have Kane and Son. I agree, American Stock FPL. Go check out their YouTube channel, by the way. Watching Bale tomorrow is going to be incredibly interesting. I think I'm more interested to see how they play than Kane and Son, who I have on my bench. Because, if Bale comes away and he looks like any Gareth Bale that we saw for the past 10 years, he is going to be on the top of my watch list. And I'm also interested in seeing Reguilon play. Those are the two that I'm really looking forward to. Son and Kane, at this point, you almost know what to expect from them. I know, yeah, but I'm really interested in Gareth Bale. I'm with you. That's quite a high recommendation for Ings. Yeah, I think saying he was top 3 striker might be a bit, I might have gotten a bit carried away with that one. That might just be a heat of the stream kind of a thing. But I like Danny Ings a lot. I shouldn't say top 3 without thinking about the other strikers in the league, but I will say I really like Danny Ings. As far as FPO wise, he's Mr. Consistent as well. But the hardest part with him is that 8.5 price bracket. That's the only hard part because Kane's going off. DCL has been going off for the start of the season. And so it's almost like, are you going to give up one of those to bring in Danny Ings? But I'm a big fan of Danny Ings, man. When the Saints go marching in. Thoughts on Reece James? Fantastic if he plays. If Reece James plays, he's a fantastic option. The problem with him is the same as Mahrez, to where he's just, you don't know if he's going to play or not. Because Azpilicueta is still there. And so if Reece James plays, I'm sitting there, if I was a Reece James owner, I'm sitting there thinking I'm probably going to get an attacking return today. And now that they have Thiago Silva who's back and Mendy who looks pretty good in goal, you're thinking I might even be able to come away with a clean sheet. He's on set pieces. I think he looks really good. The problem is playing time. And that's why it would be hard for me to spend $5 million on Reece James, just because I don't know if he's going to play week in and week out. Let's see. Should we get rid of Trent Alexander-Arnold? I knew this question was going to come, Mr. Enigma. I don't. I'm a bit behind on comments, am I? Yeah. It's tough. It's tough because Trent. Let's put it this way: the goal that Sheffield scored today, or yesterday, whatever it was. A lot of people were saying it was a foul outside the box. Even if it was a foul, it was outside the box. I'm not necessarily my words. I'm not a professional ref or anything, or professional VAR assistant, but it was definitely a borderline call, pun intended, for that penalty. They put away the penalty. Outside of that, they only had one shot on target outside of the penalty the whole game, Sheffield did. And Trent Alexander-Arnold had a phenomenal cross into Mo Salah, so that was just called offsides by just the smallest of margins. So if you take all that, if you put all of that into play, Trent's coming away with a double-digit haul, and everyone's saying he's back. Alisson's back now, so I think as far as stats-wise, he looked better than Robertson. But if it were me, he's got West Ham next. If Antonio doesn't play, because he is hurt, he's got City after that, Leicester after that. I think it might be time to move on from Trent, personally. It's tough, though. I want to go back and really, really dive into the highlights after the stream, maybe tomorrow, and really get a hold on Trent and see how he actually performed. but he just hasn't looked the same. And I really hope the best for him. I really like him as a player. He's fantastic, and I hope that he has a great game week. But he was really close to coming away with a big haul this weekend. But I think it would be. I think because if you get rid of Trent and you bring on like Chilwell, looks good. If you bring on, let's say, Chilwell, that would save you $2 million, and you could throw that in your attacking options, and that $2 million goes a long way. And so I would only get rid of Trent. If there was an opportunity to get, like, let's say, like this week, if I got rid of Trent Alexander-Arnold and brought in Chilwell, and that allowed me the funds to bring in like Son or bring in Harry Kane, I think that's an easy sell because I like Chilwell and Kane more than I would like. I don't know who would be at that 8. I don't know. That's tough. I think so. I don't know. American Stock FPL. If you're still here, what do you think what do you think we should do with Trent Alexander-Arnold? I'm a bit behind on comments. Let me catch up. Keep or sell Werner, and if so, for what transfer? I think it's time to. I think Werner. It might be a bit over time to sell him. I think we should have sold him a little bit ago. No, he did score 16 points last week. If you have him, he's got Burnley next, Sheffield. Who would you bring in for Werner? That would be my biggest question to you. Because if you bring in Harry Kane has 2 more good fixtures left. But I'm still keeping Harry Kane probably after that, just because of the form that he's on. I'm going to get rid of Son most likely instead of Kane. This is Chelsea's schedule, by the way. I'm on Chilwell's, but it's Chelsea's schedule. He's just not doing enough for me to warrant that 9.3 million striker role. There's a lot of good options cheaper. I think you've seen Callum Wilson score more fantasy points so far. Bamford has scored more. DCL scored more, and they're all cheaper than Werner. So it's tough, but I think I would personally get rid of Werner. As you can see here on my wild card, I did get rid of Werner. But if you were to hold on to him, I wouldn't be too upset. My biggest concern with him is how wide he's playing. Like, I know he's playing as a striker, but there were a lot of times in the game that I was watching this weekend where he would go out wide and you allowed Christian Pulisic to go in the center. So I would rather have Pulisic or Chilwell than I would have Werner. So you can still have that Chelsea cover, but you get in Pulisic, you're saving $1 million, and you're getting somebody who's going to be sneaking into that striker-ish role from time to time. Let's see. That's my thoughts. Thoughts on Everton today? They missed Richarlison. But again, everyone has a bad game week. I mean, you saw City tie with Leeds last week, and City tied this week, actually. You saw Liverpool lose to Aston Villa 7-2. Then you saw Aston Villa lose this weekend. Everyone's allowed a bad game week. But with James limping, Richarlison out for another 2 game weeks, Digne out for 3 game weeks, Everton are... I'm a little nervous if I do have 2 Everton assets, so I am a little nervous. They didn't play their best game today. And, what was it, 2-0 they lost? Shout out Southampton. Southampton were not scared. They went in and did what they do. Also, that goal the first goal that Ward-Prowse scored, Ward-Prowse had a beautiful pass to start it off. Then Danny Ings returned with the lovely Meg, if I'm not mistaken. That was just a beautiful setup, man. Fair play to Southampton today. They played well. Camera went out. So let me catch up. Will I do any transfers? Right now, I'm planning on not taking any transfers. I'm planning on rolling my transfer to next game week. That's the plan as of now, but I want to wait and see what the news on Antonio is. I wanted to wait and see what the news on James is before I do anything. If I made a move, it'd probably be DCL. Right now, I'm a little nervous going into these next couple game weeks without Richarlison, but I'm probably going to hold. So right now, as of right now, I'm waiting on those 2. I'm waiting so I can have 2 free transfers going into game week 8, if I'm not mistaken. If Robertson's not looking as good, or Liverpool's defense is looking shaky with Fabinho back there, if Matip doesn't come back, then I'm going to drop Robertson down, save $2 million, and throw it into like Jack Grealish or DCL or somebody, but we'll see. I think 2 free transfers are going to be huge. My plan originally was maybe like, because Spurs fixtures get tough in game week 9, I can use 2 free transfers and take Son out and bring in Bruno Fernandes. But my plan right now is to hold. But we'll see what happens after tomorrow's matches. Friday deadline again. So heads up to everybody. Friday deadline again, and there will be a stream again on Thursday. Deadline-ish stream going into for me on Thursday, 6 o'clock London time. I predict Kane will get 5 goals and an assist tomorrow. I hope you're right, Mr. Enigma. Sorry, I stopped the washing machine, by the way. There's like 20 minutes left, and it was just too loud. You could, sorry, yeah. If Kane got 5 goals tomorrow, man, that would. Oh, I even if he came away with 1, I'd be pumped. If he came away with an assist at this point with how my squad's doing, I'd be happy with it. But I almost went Captain Harry Kane. Hindsight, I should have, because the worst case scenario, he ties Mo Salah. But 5 goals and assists. I hope you're right, Mr. Enigma. Let's see. Which stadium did you visit when you were in the UK? I went down. Shout out Biddeford FC one time. I went to their stadium. I live like right next door to them, so I went there. I went to Plymouth Argyle. I was just in the city and I saw the stadium and I just kind of just walked around it real quick. Chelsea, I didn't get to go into any matches because I was too broke at the time. But let's see, I lived by Chelsea. Chelsea had a cool stadium. Arsenal, but I think I went to Old Trafford. Those are the main ones I went to. I'm hoping I can go back to the UK sometime, man, and go to more and more. Semedo down to Kilman to fun to move of Brewster to Bamford. I don't know. That's tough. I'm still not 100% if Kilman's nailed. I know I had a Wolves fan in stream last week. Are you here this week? But personally, it'd be hard for me to move Semedo, who is a for sure starter for Wolverhampton, down to Kilman, because if Kilman doesn't start, you're down. That's rough. But as far as Brewster to Bamford, I mean, I think it's hard for me to talk down on Bamford when he came away with a hat trick, and he's the second highest scoring striker in FPL right now. I mean, the first half of that match, he missed a couple chances. I was like, he needs to put those away if he wants to be the level striker I'm assuming he wants to be considered. But he came away with a nice hat trick, and some of those goals are just incredible finishes. I think the second and third goal were incredible finishes. The third one in general, he had incredible patience just to sit there and just slot it side netting. The first one was about as striker as you could be. He was in the right place at the right time, knew exactly where to be, and just got a tap-in goal, which is a dream goal for any striker. So I don't know. Let me think on that one. I don't know if I would necessarily do that, but I don't know. I haven't done it. Bamford's getting off a lot of shots. I think he had 9 shots this game week, and he's had before that I'll look it up right now. Why not? And to help answer your question, to answer your question, I'm not exactly sure. I haven't done enough research on Bamford to kind of warrant me answering that question and feeling comfortable about it. But I mean, you look at as far as just his basic underlining stats. He had 9-3-4, so that's 7, 16, 16 over 3. So he's averaging about 5 shots per game right now, which is incredible. His next fixtures are Leicester, which is a bit tough. Crystal Palace can be tough. Arsenal are pretty solid defensively. I think Leicester had 1 shot on target when they scored before I started setting up the stream. So he has a tough run of fixtures coming up, Bamford. But if you're a form of a fixture, I mean, if that's what you want to do, I would go for it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's your squad. You got to make the best decision, what you think will be best for you. But for me, I just haven't done enough research on Bamford to really answer that question. Sorry. I have Kane as my captain and Ryan left in my squad. You can come away with a good amount of points then with those two. Kane is a captain. If Kane gets an assist, you're already getting more of a captaincy return than a lot of players are this weekend. And so that's a huge advantage. And Ryan's playing a West Brom squad, so he can come away with a clean sheet. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kane comes away with double digits as your captain. So, I mean, CT Vids, you're in great position going into tomorrow. The average is 32 points. 32 points? Whoa, I'm with you. That's actually pretty high. I thought a lot of people were. I thought it was going to be a lot lower. Maybe it's because even with Spurs assets not going yet, so the average might be in the 40s. I wonder if it's. Wow, that's pretty high. I wonder if Bamford has anything to do with that, because I think Bamford has a pretty high selection rate. I wonder if he has a good amount to do with that. I know a lot. I only say that because I know a lot of people were benching Bamford, and that would if I bench Bamford this week, that's rough. D production's at 49. Woo! Waiting for Captain Kane and Son. So you're at 49 points, and you've Captain Kane and have Son. Oh yes, we're not worthy. That's a huge game week. Dang, you're gonna see a big green arrow. Even if Kane and Son blank, you're still getting a big green arrow because I don't know how much players people have left. I think the average is like two. I think the FPL player has 2 players left to play. So you're in for a big game week D production. I'm jealous, man. 49 with Captain Kane and Son to go. Woo! What's my plan to get City and United players? As far as City players, I don't know if I'm going to get them in. I hate to say it. I know how explosive they could be, but for me, if I bring in De Bruyne, I'm going to have to sacrifice 2.5 mil to bring him in for Son, or 2 mil for Son, essentially. And in order to do that, I'd have to drop Robertson down to a 5 million pound defender. And off the top of my head, I don't know if there's any that I would rather have. And so it's going to take a lot for me to bring in Son. I'd have to drop. I mean, look at my players. I think he'd be the only one I'd be considered dropping. And any other City asset, I don't know if it's worth it for me. I mean, you don't know if Mahrez is going to play week in, week out. Aguero got hurt again. And even before that, he wasn't looking as good as he used to. Jesus is still out. And so, honestly, I'm not really looking at bringing in any City assets at the moment. If I had money, I would go for KDB, but my team value is really slacking. As far as United assets, I'm planning on having 2 free transfers going into Game Week 9. And at that moment, I could bring in Bruno Fernandes, or depending on how Rashford looks, I could bring in Rashford, who is a phenomenal person and player. So that's my plan. Hold 2 free transfers to Game Week 9, and Game Week 9, United schedule gets really good. Bruno and Telles are on the top of my watch list as far as United players. Obviously, Telles hasn't played a Premier League match yet, but we'll see. Also, anyone watch how did Cavani look? I didn't get to watch. I only watched like the first 5 minutes when Cavani came in. Almost had a goal with his first touch. But I'm super interested in seeing how much playing time Cavani gets moving forward. See, American Stock FPL says, those watching like the video. I appreciate that, man. That'd be beautiful. Appreciate that, American Stock FPL. Check out their channel. Really good content. Really good content. Do you have any plans on getting any C players? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I just talked about that one. It's just tough. I don't know. Because when I watch the matches, I like Cancelo a lot. But I don't know if I'd want to bring him in my squad, considering he might get rotated. I love Kevin De Bruyne. Love KDB. But I don't feel like dropping Mo Salah is the way to go. And, I mean, I could switch out Son for KDB, but again, it would take 2 mil. And I really like how balanced my squad is right now. Maybe I might bring in Mahrez in a few game weeks. Maybe Jesus. I don't know. It's hard for me to bring. It's hard for me to trust any City assets. Again, Sterling's the same price as KDB pretty much, and I'd rather have KDB than Sterling, unless I wanted a differential. Sterling's great, man. But other than that, I don't know if there's any players I would necessarily want, and it really hurts watching City play when you don't have any players. Let me tell you, because if they go ahead and score 6 goals, rough. But yeah, I don't know. You have any plans, American Stock FPL? I feel like you're going to talk about it in your next video, so I could wait for that. But do you have any plans bringing them in? Let's see. D production. EPL is pretty attacking. A lot of goals this season in general, so defenders won't score a lot of... Oh, camera went out. So defenders won't score a lot of points by getting clean sheets for sure. Not even Pool or City. I think... do Wolverhampton have the most clean sheets with 2 right now? But I agree. I only want defenders who are gonna attack. So I don't want to bring in anybody on hopes of a clean sheet, because that's going to be few and far between. Of course, they happen, and when they happen, like Chilwell this week, it was beautiful. But I'd rather have players who can get attacking returns. I'm with you. So that's kind of why I set up my back line like that. All fullbacks. Let's see. When do I think the best time to use your wildcard is? That's tough. I think it goes into every person's squad. For me personally, I was trying to wait until game week 8 or 9 when pretty much fixtures flip for a lot of squads. Like United get a lot better, Tottenham gets a lot worse. Everton's gets all right in game week 11, but I also wanted to wait to see what like Gareth Bale did. I want to see what Telles does. Maybe even Cavani if you're just going for a wild card out there, or pun intended. But I think it just goes with your squad. I talked about it, like, again, I think you can even wait if you have the luxury of waiting until like right around December time when the first wild card goes away. I think that would be beautiful come like the double game week times. But Like for me, I talked about it in my video last week. I was debating wildcarding, and I went ahead and did it because I looked at my ranking, and my ranking isn't that good right now. My squad wasn't performing, and then I ended up making 12 transfers. I transferred 12 players out. The only players that I kept were Salah, James, and who else did I keep? I think that was it. Salah and James were the only players I kept for real. Oh, and Grealish. Salah, James, and Grealish were the only players I kept from before my wild card. So I was kept saying it's better to wait. But then my squad was just suffering so much. It was like, okay, I need to do something now. And so I think it all just depends on your squad. I know that's kind of a lame answer to give, but honestly, it really depends. Like if your squad, if you have a lot of players who aren't playing and they're not looking as good, there's some players who are hurt, it might be time to use it. And I probably should have used it 2 or 3 weeks ago. Overall points is not good. I don't know exactly what it is right now, but my ranking is I think I just creeped into the 3 million right now. Definitely a horrible start for me to start the season. Terrible planning to start off the season. I think that was a big part of it, and being a bit stubborn to bring back in Son after I dropped him. But yeah, a lot of things I learned to start the season. And hopefully moving forward, I'll be able to use it to have a great end with a great rank, I should say. This is my second season, so I still got a lot to figure out, and that's why I watch videos like American Soccer FPL to help me out. Let's see. I know that 9.3 is a bit pricey for Werner, but what if I had the same exact team as you, but instead of Robertson and Kilman, Antonio and Werner? Let me see. So you would say you would instead of Robertson and Kilman, you have Antonio and Werner. I love Antonio. As you can see, I had him in my squad. I even brought him in for the tough run of fixtures. I love Antonio, especially at 6'3". It's almost it's almost sickening how good he is at 6, and he's only 6'3". That's wild to me. But let's see, Werner. Again, I think Werner is a good choice. I'm not against it. I just for me personally, it's a lot to spend on him, but he's one of those guys that from what it seems, he can have 2-3 bad game weeks in a row and then come away with 16 points, and you forget about all the bad game weeks. But I'm also super interested to see what Chelsea do attacking wise, because I still haven't clicked as an attacking unit. And if they can click, and these are ifs, if they can click, Werner will look a lot better, and he'll justify that 9.3 price range. But at the end of the day, again, if that's what you feel is best for your squad, go ahead and do it. Do it. What do I think about... Man, I'm really behind on chats. I'm like 14 minutes behind. I really got to catch up. I apologize. Let's see. What do I think about Trent? Personally, I downgraded to Robertson. I did the same too. This is American Soccer FPL, by the way. If you have them, I would hold unless you need the money to get an elite mid forward. They have difficult schedule upcoming in Champions League weekly. Yeah, I completely agree. I wouldn't go out of my way to bring in Trent, even if I was on Wildcard. I think Robertson looks like a good option. He's getting to some good spaces to start the season. He's getting really high up the pitch. Robertson, he's like actually Trent dropped, so he's only 0.3 cheaper now. But if I had Trent, I would wait one more game week because Antonio is back, and I would like just a bit of a bigger sample size without Van Dijk. And I think they have West Ham up next. After that, it's City, Leicester. But I guess even after that, it's Brighton, Wolverhampton, Fulham. It's tough. I would, if I had the luxury, I'd probably, if I had the luxury and I had Trent still, I might hold that transfer until next game week. So you could have 2 free transfers. If he doesn't look good again, then you could drop him, bring in like American Soccer PL said, bring in more of an elite mid or forward, more of an attacking player. But you've seen a lot. It's already 6 game weeks, and he hasn't looked like the same Trent that we are accustomed to. So, I mean, it's tough. Let's see. Abrar says, I'm on 17 points and I have Captain Kane, Son, Mopay, and Ryan left to play. You're in a good spot then, I'm not going to lie. I know 17 points hurts, and you're probably having a good red arrow right now. I know that's rough, but on the positive side, you have you have Captain Kane, that's great. Son, obviously fantastic. Mopay could have a big day, and Ryan could come away with the clean sheet. So you have a very high possibility of coming away with 20, 30 points from those 4 players. So you could end the game week in the 40s. In the 40s after coming away with 17 on a Sunday. Not bad. Let's see, I felt bad. I felt bad today, bro. I have Kilman and Bellerin, and they both conceded late. Oh, And Bellerin got a yellow card too, huh? Honestly, a bit of a stupid yellow. On a side note, Bellerin picked up a yellow. Leicester were breaking. I think it was Harvey Barnes was breaking, and he was running into a wall. He was pretty much surrounded by like 4 Arsenal players, and Bellerin still decided to foul him and stop the transition. So, I mean, it wasn't the best move. But, yeah, that's tough. That's the beauty of watching a defender get a clean sheet. Especially, I feel like Wolverhampton does that a lot over the past, like, post-COVID and now. They just give up a lot of late goals. I just kicked the camera. Whoops. That's rough, man. I feel for you. That's tough. That's I think Kilman was on bonus points before that too, right? I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Deep production. Kilman probably won't play a lot in the future. Marcel is already fit, and he'll probably play as left wing back, and Seiss will replace Kilman. Yeah, I think that's probably the most likely scenario. I thought that going into this game week, the problem was they took out Seiss for Marcel. Maybe it's because they had a game plan for Seiss to play left wing back, and he wasn't as familiar at center back in this game. And so they kind of said, hey, Kilman's looking good. I'll keep him there. I'll give Seiss a rest. But, again, Kilman has played 2 great games in a row. As a manager, it's a great headache to have, but it would definitely be a headache deciding what to do with Kilman. At the end of the day, even if you don't play him, you have incredible bench depth with him. But it would be very hard. It'd be very hard for how Kilman's playing to bench him. But again, Seiss is a great player, so if I wouldn't be bringing in any Wolverhampton defenders right now as far as Kilman and Seiss with expectations of them starting every week. Of course, Kilman's cheap, so you can get him and maybe get a price rise out of him. But I'm very interested to see. Maybe you could. I don't know. But maybe it's just going to be super interesting to see what Wolverhampton do moving forward. Zaha is literally carrying my team. What a 2020 statement. Yeah, Zaha looks pretty good, huh? He's been playing well so far to start the season. Nice little tap in on a great ball. But yeah, Zaha's looked good. And he still has a good run of fixtures. He probably has the best schedule moving forward. So Zaha, man, how many points did he come away with? He got double digits, right? I guess I could look it up right now, but yeah, Zaha looks good. Bamford, 27% ownership. Oh. Whoa. That's rough. 27% ownership, and he comes away with 18 points. Oh, jeez. Currently, I have no plans for City either, but not owning KDB could hurt. Yeah, that's the thing, too. I'm with you, America's Talk FPL, because if he scores 2 goals, Sterling's selection rate isn't that high. If Mahrez scores a couple goals, his selection rate's not that high. But if KDB comes away with a 15-pointer, oh, that is going to hurt. But again, the biggest problem I have is just being able to afford 2 premiums. My squad value is like 100.8, and so I don't have enough money to really have 2 premium players. And so it's coming down to, is Salah going to outperform KDB? I guess I could drop Salah for KDB, but I agree. Not owning KDB could be very, very rough on my ranking. I'm taking a risk. I'm planning. CT Vid says I'm taking a risk. I plan to use my wild card. Aubameyang out, Mane in. Aubameyang has been struggling so far to start the season. Yep, camera out. Yeah, where am I at? Sorry. You plan to use your wild card? Yeah, I want to. Who are your first few players you're going to look at bringing in on your wild card? I'm super interested to see that. Because for me, I had like 4 or 5 names that were like guaranteed to be in my wild card roster. So, Aubameyang out, Mane in. Yeah, I think that's a good call. Mane is so good, period. FPL or not, Mane can flat out ball. So, and Aubameyang has just been struggling to start the season. He's playing super wide right now. Arsenal are struggling to score goals. They got clean sheeted 2 weeks in a row, right? Granted, it was Leicester and City, but Arsenal just don't look as good moving forward as I was hoping they would under Arteta. And I think that's a good decision. Aubameyang out and Mane in. I'm not against that at all. I know it's risky taking Calvert-Lewin out, but I'm going to take a chance and bring Vardy in. I'm kind of with that. Calvert-Lewin with James limping at the end of the game, I don't know if he's going to play. Richarlison's still out for 2 game weeks. You have Digne, who's now out for 3. My hair looks wild right now. Switch around my cap. And Coleman's out, so I wouldn't be surprised if DCL goes on a couple game week blank real quick. That's not. Yeah. So I think that's a good risk to take. I know it's hard to watch Everton matches without DCL. Trust me, I know I didn't have DCL till last game week, but I don't think that's the worst plan. Is to take him out and bring Vardy in. I don't know what Vardy's schedule is as far as fixtures go, but that could be a good one. Mitrovic out for Bamford. Mitrovic is shooting a lot, but he's just not converting. I like Leeds a lot better than I like Fulham. I think that's a good call. You'd be able to save a little bit of cash too. Actually, Mitrovic dropped, huh? Anyway, I think that's a good call. Mitrovic for Bamford. Bamford's look good. Leeds look really good. I'm not going to lie, to start the season. They tied City last week. They did really well this week against Villa. Leeds ain't scared of nobody. Nobody. Lamptey for Bellerin. Yeah, I think Arsenal's defense looks pretty good, and Bellerin is getting really high up the pitch today from what I saw. Any Arsenal fans here, is Bellerin going to start every week? That'd be my biggest concern. But, man, I love Lamptey, man. I love Lamptey. Trent out for Justin. Whoa. Trent out for James Yeah, how long is Ricardo Pereira out? That'd be another big thing to worry about. I know Ricardo Pereira is going to be out for a little bit longer than expected, but it'd be tough to bring out Trent for... yeah, it's crazy. To start the season, a lot of talk on Twitter was talking about how Trent was going to be essential all season, Aubameyang was going to be essential all season, and so everyone was saying Trent and Aubameyang are never going to leave my squad now that Aubameyang's a midfielder. And here we are in going into game week 7, and they both look like a shell of their former self, which is crazy. I hope Aubameyang can come back into form. I mean, I love both those players, so I hope they can come back. And just as a fan, I hope they both do well. But wow, what a wild 7 game weeks. It shows how unpredictable FPL can be. Let's see. I don't understand how D Production says. I don't understand how these points rise and fall work. Yeah, I don't either. For example, McCarthy had like 20% ownership, even more before Martinez joined Villa, and he didn't raise. He even had clean sheets. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. It's just one of those algorithms that I can't. I have no idea how it works. I'm not even bothered to look into it. James Rodriguez had like 1 million people bring him in before he received a 0.1 price rise. I think last week or 2 weeks ago, Son was predicted on all the FPL sites that he was going to go up in price for like 3 days in a row. 4 days in a row, he didn't raise, and then he after that he rose like 2 of the next 3 days, even though a ton of people were bringing him in before. He had like 750,000 people bring him in. So I don't get how they work either. I just keep an eye out for price rises as far as like FPL statistics. I think is a site, and I have no idea either. Even Werner had like 1 million people drop him before he dropped in price. Let's see. Abrar says, lots of people are thinking about taking out Grealish. Look at his fixtures, looking good till Christmas. Yeah, well, it's funny because FPL, money trees. Yeah, that's looking good. A lot of people are talking about getting rid of Grealish. I hear you, but it's hard. It's hard because he creates so much, and every team, every player is going to have weeks where they don't look good. Mo Salah is going to have weeks, like 3 weeks. There's going to be a 3 or 4 week game week span where Mo Salah doesn't score and people are going to think about dropping him. The question is do you have faith in Grealish that he can turn it around? Do you think that Grealish, because Grealish is still, I mean, if you watch the game, he had an incredible run that was a lot like Werner's last weekend. I'll go back to his fixtures here in a second. He had an incredible run that looked a lot like Werner's last week, and he missed at the very end. Then he had a goal line clearance. With his left foot, he had a goal line clearance that had to be checked by VAR to see if it went in or not. And so those 2 plays itself could have been huge for Grealish. He could have come away with 2 goals, so he would have had a double-digit haul. And instantly people are forgetting or not thinking about dropping him. They're thinking about bringing him in. And so he's still creating chances. He's still getting a lot of shots off. So for me, personally, I don't see myself getting rid of him. Because, again, at the end of the day, 2 incredible looks Grealish had on a day that Villa did not look good. So as far as eye test goes, I'm still keeping Grealish. Let's see. Yeah, and again, go into his fixtures, to your point. Go into his fixtures. Southampton next, Arsenal. Arsenal is a tough one, but then Brighton, West Ham, Newcastle, Wolverhampton, Burnley, West Brom, Crystal Palace. Yeah. I'm not getting rid of Grealish anytime soon. As hopefully. I got price rise from Kilman 4 to 4-1. Hopefully he goes up another. I haven't checked the statistics. Tested statistics. Shout out Big Shaq one time. You don't know it. But yeah, you might be able to get another one out because he played incredible again today. And people were, I don't know if he's going to play or not. I would like to hear press conferences. It's something I'm definitely looking forward to in the future. Vardy taking penalties is huge. He already has 6 goals this season. I think 4 of them are for penalties. But Vardy is one of those guys. He came in off the bench today and scored. I haven't checked, but he's probably going to get bonus points too. He's one of those guys who will have 4 touches and 4 goals. Vardy is freaking clinical, man. Incredible. Oh, Lampy in for Bellerin? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Lampy's good, man. At 4.7, whatever he is right now, he is, man, he just gets so, he's their, I know I say that a lot, but he's just Brighton's best player, period, in my opinion. He's such a promising young player. Big fan of Lamptey. Cresswell is a big shout because he takes set pieces. He's been assisting. Yeah, I think Cresswell, let me go to his stats real quick. I talked about him in my last stream, I believe. But Cresswell is like, I'll go to this site. Cresswell is creating a ton of opportunities for his squad. I think he's averaging like, let me make sure real quick. I know I'm going to do a little bit of stats real quick. I really like goal and shot creation. But I agree. I think he is a good shout, man. Shot creation actions per 90. At the top of that is Kevin De Bruyne. And if we go way on top, he's beating Sadio Mane by 3. Oh my gosh. He is by far in first place. Cresswell is ahead of Firmino as far as shots created per 90. And you look at their schedule for the next few. I know I'm kind of bouncing back and forth. I apologize if it's a little annoying on the screen. Hopefully I'll get another computer and I can have my stats on one side and you guys' screen on the other. But I don't want to bring him into my squad. Let's look at Cresswell real quick. Because I agree, it is a good shout. He's 5.8, so he's a bit hefty, but look at how many attempted assists he's had over the last few game weeks. 4 attempted assists versus Wolverhampton, 4 versus Leicester, 2 versus Tottenham, 1 versus City. And then you look at his schedule he has coming up. He's got Liverpool next, but then he's got Fulham, Sheffield, Aston Villa, United, Leeds. So West Ham have a good schedule after this game week. So I agree that is a great shout. I just don't know if I'd pay all that money to have him, but I mean, he could be a good differential for you. I still think Aubameyang will be a 20-goal season player. I agree. Just wait till his form and Arsenal are better. I agree. I mean, it's still so early in the season. We're only 6 game weeks in, and Aubameyang, I think, does he have 1 or 2 goals right now? I'd have to double check that. If someone could fact check for that for me. I still think Aubameyang. I agree. I still think Aubameyang comes away with 16 plus goals. I still think Arsenal are a good squad. They just have to have things click right now. But if Aubameyang came away with 22 goals at the end of the season, ain't nobody gonna be surprised. He's a phenomenal player. They just need to figure some things out. And I think their schedule, because again, their schedule has been really hard to start the season. I think they had their first 2 game weeks were good, but after that they had a tough run of fixtures. It'd be interesting to see what their run of fixtures are for the. Get everyone out. It'd be interesting to see what their run of fixtures are. Because again, he could come away. I agree with you, American Saga FPL. He could come away with 20 goals, and I would not be surprised in the slightest. He's a talisman. He's a phenomenal player. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, do that at CT Vids. I would appreciate that. Let's see. American Saga FPL says Grealish had 2 big chances. Seems a bit premature to get him out. I agree. It was just 2 weeks ago he scored 24 points against Liverpool. He looked good again last week. And again, this week he was so close to getting 2 goals. Again, the goal line clearance that VAR had to check. He had the goal that he had an incredible run. Took on like 4 guys in the box, had incredible composure, and just couldn't put it away. And again, that happens some weeks. I agree. I still think it's a bit premature to get rid of him. He still has really good fixtures coming up. And he's only 7.2 at the moment. I don't know how much better you can do at that price range. So I agree. I think it's too early to get rid of Jack Grealish. I would definitely hold on. Is this price going to drop? Are we talking about Aubameyang or are we talking about Grealish? Whose price is going to drop? It can't be Grealish, right? It would have to be Aubameyang, I think. If Aubameyang's price drops and you're on Wildcard and you believe in him in the future, Drop for now, bring him back later. Yeah, okay, talking about Aubameyang. Yeah, it's hard. The hardest part for me with Aubameyang is how many good options are at that price. You still have Salah, you have Mane, who I think is a great option. Gets overlooked too much in my opinion. Mane. You still have KDB, Sterling, Son's a great price. I know he's a bit cheaper, but it's hard for me to bring in Aubameyang in the squad. It's hard. I can't even bring in KDB, let alone Aubameyang. But if Aubameyang starts going off, man, and is looking incredible, it's going to be hard to ignore him. And I think that at some point this season, he's going to catch fire. Is Kane essential? Have a free transfer but need a -4 to move funds. I don't think anyone is essential. I think you can, if you don't have, let's say if you haven't had Harry Kane this past few game weeks, but you've had Son in instead, and you use that money for Kane to, let's say, I don't know, off the top of my head, I would even say, you could even say Bamford, right? I don't know if anyone's essential. You just have to be smart. I think that he is an incredible buy. Incredible buy. I mean, he's shooting 5 shots per game right now, and he's getting a ton of attempted assists. In my opinion, he's the second best striker in the world currently. I don't know. I don't think anyone is essential in this game, but I love having him. I brought him in my squad for a reason. I love him. Big fan. Big fan of how he's playing right now. He looks, under this new system, he's playing incredibly. Excuse my grammar. But yeah, -4. Who are your transfers you're planning on making for that -4? What are the 2 players you're going to transfer out, and who are the 2 you're going to bring in? American Stock FPL says, that dual or triple monitor is essential for a streamer. Yeah, I know. I really need to bring it. I'm still trying to work on all of this. The technology of YouTube. There's a lot that goes into it, huh? I mean, you guys know as much as I do that there's so much that goes into it. So it would be nice, even right now, my screen, I feel like it needs a little bit of help. But I would love to have another computer here so I can do my research so it doesn't look so, I don't want to say disgusting, but not beautiful as it does here. So I agree. I need a second monitor. Hopefully next week. It's expensive, man. Let's see. Hello, I have 17 points, but I have 20 on my bench. Oh no! You have more points on your bench than your Oh! Again, pin this week. It's one of those weeks. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Not saying I'm the best, but I'm saying bad game weeks happen to everybody. But it happens, so pin it, remember it, so when you get 50, 60, 70 points next game week, you can laugh and say, remember when I got 17 last week and had 20 on my bench? But yeah, Ailing on your bench hurts. Walker-Peters, oof. It's one of those weeks. Hopefully we can laugh about it and have a great week next week. Pereira's a right back before his injury and before Castagna transfer. Sorry, my screen's cracked sometimes, so I got to move it around. My phone. So on a side note, talking about going back to that American Stock FPL, I got my screen here that my laptop that I'm using, and then I have to have my phone here so I can see my chats at the same time. Interesting setup I got. Let's see. Pereira is right back before his injury and before Castagna transfer. He played right, and Justin was left. So maybe Justin will be able to keep his position after Pereira comes back. Is Castagna? I don't know. Castagna looks really good. I think. I would need someone from Leicester to dive into that, because I was under the assumption that Castagna would go to left back, even though he's right-footed. But I don't know. I would need any Leicester fans on here. Anyone? Can anyone comment on that from D Production? It'd be interesting. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think Castagna is probably the better player. I feel like that might be a bit dodgy to say, but I think Castagna is probably a better player, so they're probably going to find a way to keep him in my opinion. But again, I'm not a Leicester supporter, so I would need to know secondhand. See, CT Vid says Mane's price is increasing fast, so I think I'm going to definitely make that move before it's too late. Yeah, I love Mane, period. I think he's one of the best players in the world. He's always getting into great positions. The only reason why he doesn't get talked about more on FPL is because he's near the same price as Salah, and Salah has penalties. That's it. I mean, last year before COVID hit, Mane was averaging more points per match than Mo Salah was, even though Mo Salah was on penalties. So I think Mane deserves a lot more love than he gets. What's his selection right now? I'll check it out real quick. Let me check out what his selection is. That's where I'm at right now, 27 points. Not the 97 that America's Stock FPL got last week. Wildcard. Let's see, Mane. 12 mil. Oh, we went up to 12 mil again. Yeah, so 9% selection. That is a huge differential. Huge differential. I'd be a fan of bringing in Mane. I definitely thought about bringing in Mane instead of Salah on my wild card, but in the end, I went for Salah, as you can see. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if essential is I don't know if there's anyone who's essential right now because there's so many players who are playing well. I mean, Bamford's the second highest scoring striker. You have Hamas who's playing great. DCL has been playing great. Salah, Son, Harry Kane, Bruno Fernandes has been going under the radar, but he's been playing really well. Rashford looked great last week. Jack Grealish had a great game week a couple game weeks ago. He's been playing well. There's so many players. I don't know if anyone is essential, but you got to just make sure you're getting the right players who are going to score points, right? Name of the game. Let's see. Something option. My overall rank is 348K. Whoa, that's huge. That's so sick. You set yourself up incredibly well to start the season. Man, that's awesome. 348K. That's for how wild 2020 has been. That is a really good ranking. Shout out to you, man. Congratulations. That's awesome. Hopefully you keep getting more and more green arrows as the season goes along. Hey, I appreciate that, CT Vids. Thanks for the support. Seriously, it means a lot. Let's see. Rashford or Bruno. Keep in mind the price difference. I think Bruno is probably the only person I would consider from United at the moment. I think Rashford. I think with Cavani and Martial coming back after suspension, I think those two are going to be the main strikers, and Rashford's going to go out to the wing. And Rashford on the wing in this squad isn't the. I don't necessarily trust it all that much. But Bruno week in and week out, he's going to deliver. He's going to have weeks like this week where he blanks and United and Chelsea tied 0-0. But Bruno is phenomenal. He's going to be on penalties. They're so attack. They have so many dynamic players that are going to get a good amount of penalties again this year. Bruno does a lot on set pieces, corners. He's pretty much their creation at the moment, from my opinion. So if it were me, I would go with Bruno. But again, if I didn't have enough money for Bruno, I could easily see a switch to Rashford to save some cash, especially come game week 9. Because come game week 9, United's attack United's schedule looks very favorable, and that would be a great opportunity to get in one of those two players. But again, in my opinion, I would go with Bruno, even though he is a bit pricier. In my opinion, he's still probably not as much as he should be. In my opinion. Let's see. I've got Salah also, and if I bring in Mane for Aubameyang, think about that. Salah and Mane usually are the reason for the goal. Yeah. I mean, I think I talked about this on Thursday. With Liverpool, it's almost guaranteed that either Salah or Mane are going to haul 1 week. And so if you have both of them, you're putting yourself in a very favorable position that one of them is going to score at least one goal. And if they score, they're probably going to come away with bonus points too. And so you're pretty much saying, I'm going to get a lot of points in this game week period. And then you look at their schedule. Their schedule is, they have West Ham next. Then they got City. So City's a tough one. But then they got Leicester. Okay, Leicester's a bit tough too. Brighton, Wolverhampton, Fulham. So they still have a really good schedule moving forward outside of like City and maybe Leicester. But yeah, Mane and Salah, I saw that. I think I saw that on Twitter today. Somebody had that squad, and it looks very enticing to have both those guys on your squad. Let's see, Bamford or Shea Adams. Ooh. Then they say, what's Adams' price? I think it's the same as Bamford. Let me check to see what their difference in price is real quick. Because I know Bamford's going up in price today. Bamford's 5'8", and Shea Adams is 5'8", so they're the same exact price. I don't know. I really want to do more research after this game week. I like doing research week in and week out. See, this is where I need the two monitors right here, American Stock FPL. This is where I need the 2 monitors so I don't have to go through this. It's hard for me to say because I haven't done research from this game week yet. I did a lot of research going into this, but I haven't done enough after game week 6 to really warrant this. But Shea Adams has been getting into great positions this whole season. He just hasn't had that finishing touch yet. And his goal he had last week against Kepa was a bit of a fluke, but he still scored. And his goal this week, he was in a good position. Found himself in a great position, actually, for that cross. And had some good composure, and then put it away. So Shea Adams, I still think is a good option, but Bamford is their main guy. That's probably what would make me switch to him. I was scared that Rodrigo would come in and play that striker role. I mean, it still could happen, but Rodrigo's playing in the midfield for now. So, I mean, Bamford, he looks good. He looked good last week. But even then, honestly, he looked good in the second half. He didn't look as good in the first half. Yeah, the second half hat trick. So again, I really want to comment farther on that, but it's really hard. It's really hard for me to comment when I haven't done research from this game week. If you come back to my stream on Thursday, I'll have a better answer for you. I know that's a lame answer for me to say, but I feel more comfortable doing more research on it than to give you a answer as of right now. But I still think they're good options at their price range. Let's see. Where am I at? Deep production. What's the point of that free hit? It was better. What's the point of that free hit? It was better if they would replace that with something to give us 1 to 2 extra transfers or something in the long term. They give us option to replace. Yeah, their squad for 1 game week. I remember them talking about that, or I thought I heard a rumor of them talking about giving us an extra chip. If someone on here has been playing FPL for a while, didn't they used to have like different chips like 5-6 years ago? I'd be interested because right now the wild card, 2 wild cards is a good chip. Triple captain's a fun one, but that free hit bench boost is cool for 1 game week. But I saw a lot of good ideas for something that you could do for that chip instead, because that free hit is cool, but it's also one of those that like. They're pretty much saying here's a free hit because we know how tough it gets come Christmas time when a lot of people play, or at the very end of the season when you just have 1 game week left and you want to use your free hit. That's pretty much what they're saying, right, with the free hit. But it would be cool if like somebody said an all-out attack, and so you play with no defenders. That'd be a fun one to have. 10 attackers in 1 squad and a keeper. That'd be cool for 1 game week. I don't know, man. I agree. I think it would be interesting if they put in a new chip, but I don't know what would be a good one. The all-out attack would be cool. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Free hit for me last year. I used the free hit the very last game week of the year because there was no other need for me. Like there was. Like when Christmas time came around and players weren't starting and people were getting benched, there was only like 1 game week where I had 1 or 2 players that didn't play on my squad, and that was worth it to take that 1 or 2 players, take a 0, rather than use a whole free hit for just 2 players. So I just used it at the very end of the game week, or very end of the season for the last game week. But it was dope to have. I used it in my mini league championship, so that was cool. Let's see, CT Vid's squad is Trent, Bellerin, Mitchell, KWP, Killman. Let's see, I like that back line. I mean, Bellerin worries me a bit, personally, but it's a good back line. Aubameyang, Salah, you talked about moving Aubameyang to Mane. Zaha looks good. I know a lot of people were talking about week in and week out, they don't trust him, but dude's performing right now, period, and he has a great schedule. Traore is definitely one that's a bit frustrating because he's so good, but he's just coming off the bench. And Basuma, Kane, Calvert-Lewin, and Mitrovic. All my players are starters, yeah. So, yeah, all of them are starters, yeah. Mitrovic is he was the one that a lot of us thought were going to have a good season at the beginning of the year. He's getting a lot of shots off. But that Fulham team is struggling right now. And as a potential future supporter of Fulham, I really hope they do better, man. Or start performing better. But I'm here for him. Let's see. In game week 10, I'm thinking of triple transfer. All right. DCL, Son, and Kane to Sterling, Fernandez, and Bamford. I love Burling. Burling. I like Bruno a lot. I think Sterling is a phenomenal player. I hope that he can kind of get into form, because if he starts catching heat like he did after post break, he's going to turn into an absolute stud to have in your squad. And he's such low selection rate right now. He is an incredible differential. Bamford's good. It's just, yeah, because in game week 10, to your point, Kane and Son, they play City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Liverpool, Leicester, Wolverhampton. A lot of good defenses there, a lot of good squads. So I'm not against that at all. I think that's good as of right now. I mean, we still have a few game weeks to really see what happens, but as of right now, I think that's a great pick, because Bruno has I wish I had a United player on my squad so I could see their schedule. But United have a good schedule moving forward. City hopefully they're clicking by that point. That'd be good. All-out attack CC Vid says all-out attack will be overpowered in one game week, I think. Yeah, it could be true, but yeah, it could be. It could be. You'd have, because really, a lot of people have a cheap defense, right? So you'd have, I don't know. Assuming it'd be like a free hit too, so you could have almost like a free hit all-out attack. Then you could pick anybody you want for one game week. Yeah, that would be a bit, but everyone would have the same advantage, right? But that's true. It would. You would change out. So essentially, for my squad, I would, instead of Robertson, you could have like Zaha. Instead of Chilwell, I would have Bamford, and instead of Lamptey, I would have like Brewster. So add that to that squad. That would be a very, very interesting squad to have at this moment. All out attack. I don't know. I feel like that'd be pretty fun though. I don't know. How many bench boosts do you have? You only have one bench boost all year. So you have one bench boost, one triple captain, and you get 2 wild cards. The first wild card will expire in like game week 16, 18, somewhere around there. I'd have to double check that exact game week number, but that's wild card's the only one you have 2 of, but one in the first half of the season, one in the second half, essentially. But 1 bench boost, 1 triple captain. I'm taking out Traore out for sure, bro. Yeah, Traore is a tough one, because if he starts firing, he's doing great, and he's only 6.4, whatever he is now, but he's not starting, so it's hurting. And that Wolverhampton attack is not looking that creative. It'd almost be worth it to get like Podence instead of Traore, even though Podence isn't really putting together attacking numbers at the moment. He still looks really good eye test wise. Where am I at? I hate that Mitrovic missed the penalty before this game week. Oh, he makes that. If you had Mitrovic, he makes that penalty. He gets obviously the points for scoring a goal, and he was on like 3 bonus points too, right? He would probably be on 3 bonus points at that moment, if I'm not mistaken. Should I go to the schedule? Yeah, I'll go to the schedule real quick. Where's Fulham at? Yeah, because he gets a game-winning goal at that moment. And then instead of that, he misses the penalty, so he gets the minus points. Oh, yeah. Mitrovic owners, yeah, that was rough last game week, man. Rough. But that's, yeah. It sucks, man. The beauty of FPL. Bruno will be good game week 8 since he's got West Brom. Yeah, I'll pull up their schedule real quick. I might have done that earlier, but got a lot on my mind today. I'll keep this stream shorter today just because I got some live stuff I got to get going, but not right now, but in a minute. Yeah, he's got West Brom in game week 9. He's got, even with Everton don't have Digne or Richarlison for that game, so that could be a good matchup there. Camera! Then he's got Southampton, West Ham. City, of course, is tough. Sheffield and Leeds. So after game week, I would even say that after Arsenal, Bruno would be looking like a good pick. Because Everton without Digne and Richarlison, that's it's still good, but Bruno's looking good for that game week. I agree. And he's averaging before this game week, before he blinked, he was averaging like almost 8 fantasy points per game. So he's still averaging like 7 fantasy points per match right now, which is pretty good. What I consider Sice. It's tough, man. It's tough with Sice because I'm assuming he's going to go back to his left center back role now that Marcel is back and he's healthy. I'm assuming that Sice is going to have that spot nailed down, but Kilman has looked incredible in these last 2 game weeks, so maybe he'll continue to give Kilman an opportunity, give him a shot. But even after that, after like game week, I'll pull up the schedule right now. After game week 9, They have Arsenal, Liverpool, Villa, Chelsea. Then they have Burnley, but then Tottenham, United. So they have Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, United. They have 5 top 6 squads in like a 7-game week span. And so it would be hard for me to bring in a Wolverhampton player who's not going to get attacking returns for the most part, because he's probably going to go back to that left center back role. And it would be hard for me to bring him in. But for these next 2 matches, he'd be really good. But after that, it's tough, man. I don't know if I'd bring in Seiss at this moment now. I think I'd probably, if anybody, I don't know. It's tough because Wolverhampton still have a good unit. They still have a good unit. So, but for me personally, I wouldn't look at it just because of how tough their schedule gets moving forward. And if he's not getting attacking returns, he could be getting a decent amount of blanks moving forward. If I had to be Nostradamus, let's see. CT Vid says I'm considering getting Click for Traore. That's a good one. Yeah, I mean he's on penalties too for Leeds, right? If I'm not mistaken, he's a good player. Good player for Leeds. Leeds are attacking, or they look good going forward. Good-ish going forward. They've surprised a lot of people, including me, for how they've started the season. They just tied City last week. They beat Villa this week. Leeds ain't scared of nobody. And if they're getting penalties and Click is on him, man, he's a good buy. He's only like 5'5", I think. Not height-wise, but price-wise. Should I take Kane out and put Vardy in for the next matches? For me personally, I would keep Kane for these next couple game weeks. Of course, it's your squad. Do what you feel is best for your squad. Go with your gut. Do your research, and if that's what you feel is best, go for it. But for me personally, Kane has 2 incredible fixtures the next couple matches. He got Brighton next game week and West Brom after that. And West Brom is looking about as juicy as it gets for FPL manager. He's on great form and playing a team who's not on great form, to say the least. So for me, I would keep Kane. But if you want to move to Vardy and that's what you feel is best, go for it. But again, I'm keeping Kane for these next 3 matches, unless of course something happens. Let's see. Do I have an Instagram? I do have an Instagram. It's more of a personal one, so I do have to ask, if you want my personal Instagram, I don't mind giving it out. But if you're looking at like an FPL social media, I got an FPL Twitter that I use for FPL purposes. But my Instagram is more for it's more for like, I don't know, me doing stupid dances and just like surfing pictures and stupid stuff. I don't know. But if you want my personal one, I'm more than happy to give it out. It's just not FPL. Let's see. Grealish or Zaha? I think me personally, I would go Grealish. I think Grealish is still looking. Even though he blanked today, I still think he looked incredible. He had 2 great opportunities to score. He just didn't put them away. He's still their talisman, and I still like Aston Villa more than I like Crystal Palace. But I still like. I mean, either way, I think you're still getting a good player. You're right. Zaha does have a really good schedule going forward. He's got money trees over the next like 10 game weeks, I think. Something wild like that where he has really good fixtures. And Zaha's a good player, man, period. I talked about it in a few game weeks in one of my team selection videos. I tried to bring in Zaha, but he went up in price before I could grab him. And so I ended up going with Grealish instead, which I'm not against at all. I love Grealish. But it's tough. Yeah, I agree with CT Vids. It's personally whatever you want to do. It's personally your gut, your decision. I know I'm sounding lame with some of these answers, but Zaha looks good. Grealish looks good. At the end of the day, who do you think is going to score more points? I think there are harder decisions to make in FPL because at the end of the day, I think they're both incredible options at their price range. But for me personally, I'm going with Grealish. Let's see, a bit of back and forth. So this is my squad right now. Let's see if anyone has any questions. I know, I think I got caught up with the questions for now, so I guess I could talk about my squad for a minute. So my personal Instagram is Sean the Don 34. If you want to follow, go for it. I'll follow back, of course. Let's see. So this is my squad right now. I'm at 27 points with 3 to go. 27? Yeah, 27 with 3 to go. I still like my squad. My plan originally was to hold a transfer for this game week and go into the game week 7 or 8, game week 8 with 2 transfers. But as far as my players right now, Chilwell looked incredible, man. He was in a 3-4-3 or a 3-man back line. It was a 3-4-3, right? 3-4-2-1. I think that's what it essentially was. But anyway, he played as a left wing back, Chilwell, and he was already getting so high up the pitch as it was. I think that he was an incredible option as a left back, and now he's a left wing back. I think it's an incredible price for him. Yeah, I'll type it into the chat real quick. Yeah, if you want to follow my personal Instagram, there it is. I don't really use Instagram all that much, but also I just used I guess you're looking at my side. I think I just revealed my burner YouTube account on a side note. Let me see if I have any videos on that one. Might have to delete that comment. Where are my videos at? Yep. Yeah, I guess there it is, man. You guys are going to see a weird side of Sean the Don there. Anyway, Chilwell looks really good. 6 points. I was happy he came with a clean sheet. I didn't think he would get any points this week. It was more for the future. I think they have a good schedule, and he's looking on good form. Robertson is somebody that was definitely on my chopping block. Come these next couple game weeks, I had him as cover. I still thought Sheffield was a good game for him to get some returns, and West Ham, and Robertson's looking good. But yeah, I think I'm still happy with Robertson. And at the end of the day, if he doesn't do well next game week, it's such an easy drop to bring in somebody else and save $2 million and go somewhere else with it. I can even, like I said, I could drop Robertson and bring in KDB for Son when Son's fixtures get harder. Grealish, 1 point, that yellow card was just a frustration yellow. I still think Grealish is a really good pick moving forward. No complaints with that. Again, I know he blanked, but nothing. Mo Salah, I ended up putting my captaincy on Mo Salah, and that was, it was rough because he had that ball that Trent Alexander-Arnold put in was phenomenal, and that first touch Salah had was that let him put away that goal side netting was disgusting. It was incredible. I was already cheering. I was already doing karate in my living room, dancing a little bit, and then I saw I got called offsides by just the narrowest of margins, and that was frustrating. And then Salah later in the game had an incredible turn, caught his defender napping, and went to chip the keeper at the end and hit post. And so Salah could have came away with 2 goals in this game, just got a bit unlucky with it. So again, I'm still happy with Salah even though he blanked. James Rodriguez, I am nervous about his hamstring. If James isn't 100%, I will probably have to look at moving him out. But I'm not worried about that at the moment. I'm still going to wait to see what press conferences say. Son still plays tomorrow. He's incredible. Antonio got 8 points, man. 8 points for somebody I thought was going to blank this game week. I thought for sure that I didn't think for sure he could do anything. He's a man. But he was playing against a Man City squad that I thought was going to hold him to going to keep a blank against him. And I really brought him in for the future. And if he got a game week this week, again, I'm still going to monitor his injury right now because he has a hamstring injury as well. But after this game week, he has Fulham, Sheffield, Villa. So he has a good run of fixtures to like game week 21. A couple tough ones in between, but I'm a big fan of Antonio. Then I got DCL. DCL I'm definitely worried about without Richarlison, with James hurt. But I'm probably going to hold on to him for a couple game weeks because he still has good fixtures for like 4 of the next 5. I do have a mini league. The mini league I think is in the description right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's in the description. Let me check real quick. Get everyone off. Yeah. All right. Yeah, mini league code is in the description below. It's called the Donatellos. I guess it was just a name I came up with on the fly, but yeah, I have a mini league. It's in the code. The code is in the description below. Yeah, check it. Join. That'd be awesome. I'd be more than happy to have you guys join my league, man. Let's see. Going back to my squad. Yeah, I'm happy with it. As far as my bench, I got Kilman first off the bench. He's starting for Wolverhampton at the moment. He could obviously lose a spot, but for now, I like it a lot. Basuma, 4.5 million midfielder that hopefully gets an attacking return from time to time. And Stroik, oh, man. I went for Stroik because I thought Mitchell was going to be replaced by Van Aanholt. And, yeah, dude. Oh, he started, he's an out of position defender at 4 mil for Leeds. And I was like, oh, for sure he's going to go up in price. Because he was going to start because Phillips got hurt. And so Stroik is going to be starting for like the next 6 game weeks most likely. And so like, oh, I'm going to get good value off him. He's going to rise because people are going to see that he's out of position and he's 4 mil. I can easily make a cup like 0.2 mil off of him. And then he gets subbed out in like the 20th minute because he had a yellow card and he's looking like he was potentially going to get another one soon. So that one did not pay off well for me. But that's my bench. I mean, it was the cheapest bench that I could afford that also might be able to play. So, but yeah, join my mini league. I would love to have you guys in my mini league. Person Instagram. Yeah, I'll screenshot it right now so I can find your Instagram after this. Skadoosh. Let's see. I thought it out again. Robbo Rodriguez, DCL and Kane. Sorry, Robbo Rodriguez, DCL and Kane to Sterling, Fernandez, Bamford, and Chilwell. Whoa! So you're gonna have to hold 2 free transfers for that. So Robbo would be gone. I could see that one. I mean, they're not. I mean, without Van Dijk, if you have Fabinho playing as your center back, that's definitely going to cause a lot of problems. And you don't want no problems with me. And then you got James Rodriguez. I mean, I'll hear you. I like James Rodriguez a lot, but I understand, especially because their schedule gets a little harder. DCL, Kane to Sterling, Bruno, Bamford, and Chilwell. I mean, yeah, you're considering doing that in a few game weeks, right? So it's not going to be right now. It's going to be in like game week 10, if I'm not mistaken. That's what you said. I can go through the comments to double check. Let me roll through the comments. I think you said game week 10 you're going to do it. I mean, game week 10. I mean, I like Sterling a lot. DCL, I thought about that too. DCL is on fire right now. He's scoring like 5 out of his first 6 matches. But he's still not, like, without the bonus points, I know it's being a little greedy, but without the bonus points, he's not scoring as much as, like, I would want him to for how often he's scoring. But, I mean, it's a very Maverick move, and I'm a very Maverick person, so I'm not saying I'm not against it or I'm with it, but I could definitely see why you would do it. And Bruno coming in, again, Bruno, good fixture. Sterling, if City finds form. We'll see what happens with Bamford. If Bamford can continue looking good for a few game weeks, I mean, he'd probably be a little higher at that point, but they'd be like 6'1", 6'2", I would imagine. But I love Chilwell, so I'm not against that. The highest has 375 points. Let me check out the mini league. For those in the mini league, I'm going to check it out real quick. Go to my Donatello's mini league. Yeah, Angels at first place. Angels first place. They see what their squad did this week. Should I put them on the spot right now? Anyway, they're great. Their overall ranking was 35K. That's their squad this week, man. Shout out Angels. Ailing, they have Kane and Son still to go. They captain Mo Salah. Ward Prowse on the bench. Oh, man, that's rough. That's right up with earlier today we were talking about that, huh? All these points are on the bench this week. But yeah, he still has a few to go. He's having an incredible season. Angels having an incredible season. Shout out to him. He's like 35K overall right now. I just say I'm a proud father, man. Yeah, I just love seeing people on the stream and people that I'm getting to know doing well. Makes my heart happy, man. What's a code? Can't be bothered to sign in. The code is scoop. The code is, can you see it right there? As far as I can zoom in. I'll type it into can someone type it in? It's P8 P8XY2K. And I just go back to my stream. I just exit out. Yeah, P8X2Y. P8XY2K. Only a little dyslexic, I guess. Back to my squad. Should I go to my squad for next week? Let's go to my squad for next week. I'll wrap this up here in a little bit, probably. But so any last question? Maybe not last questions, but just a little bit longer. Thanks for putting that in the description below. Appreciate, or in the comment section. Comment the code for my mini league is now in the comment section. Thanks CT Viz for posting that up there. 340 points. That's so big, man. That's great, dude. Man, that's great. So this is my that's so awesome. I'm definitely not near there right now. I got a lot of work to do. which is why I wildcarded last week. And so this is my squad going into next game week. Antonio versus Liverpool is definitely one that I'm not expecting him to score once again. But again, it's Antonio, and he can do anything. Let's see. What time is it over there? It is 4:20 right now. Because I live in Southern California. So right now it's 4:20 where I'm at. There's a joke in there somewhere. But yeah, 4:20. I think, yeah, I got some life things that happened that I got to run with here in a wee while. But for my squad right now, Calvert-Lewin versus Newcastle. Even though Hamas might not play in that and Richarlison's out, I still think Calvert-Lewin can come away with a goal in that. I just hope he gets more than 5 touches this time. Yeah, what a rough day for DCL. He's got to bounce back. Kane and Son versus Brighton is looking juicy. Hamas again to see what happens with his hamstring injury. I like my squad going into next game week, and I made the move. I put in Kilman. I don't know if he's going to start against Crystal Palace, but if he doesn't start, I'll have Lamptey coming off the bench. And I like Kilman versus Crystal Palace more than I like Lamptey versus Tottenham. But yeah, that's where I'm going with right now. This is most likely my squad going into next game week. Team selection video is probably going to come out on Tuesday, by the way. 1:18 over here by me. Oh man, 1:20 in the morning. Woo! My body can't make it till 1:20 in the morning. I'm too old. 1:20. Where you guys at? Where's everyone here living? Where you guys from? And it's 11:18 where you're at. Yeah, where's your place of residence? I love the fact that FPL really unites people from across the world, man. It's beautiful to see. Beautiful to see people from across the world coming together. Let's see. Scoot. Yeah, so this is my squad right now. I like Chilwell versus Burnley a lot. It could be a great move for him. Oh, you're from Sweden? I was this close to wearing my Swedish jersey today. I almost went for it, but I felt like it might be too yellow and too loud for the stream. And so I just went for this English jersey, but I was this close to rocking my Swedish jersey. Should I put up my Swedish flag? I got a Swedish flag too. Should I put that one up right here? One of my best friends lives in Sweden. Anyway, Leicester. All right, so I'm assuming you're a Leicester fan then. Big win today. Big win today against Arsenal. Big win today. Let's see. I've never been to. I really haven't been up. I've never been to Leicester. Let's see. Let's see. I'll let you know. Oh, sure. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, man. Let's see what else I got here. Yeah, I guess any last questions? I'll wrap this up in here. But how long have I going? I got 2:30, so I'm almost a 2-hour stream, so a little shorter than usual. I usually go for a few hours. But yeah. So yeah, this is my squad going next week. I got a team selection video coming out on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'll stream again on Thursday, and then of course I'll stream again on Sunday after the last match. The last match will be Spurs Brighton. So yeah, so that should hopefully be a great game on Sunday night. I think that'll be my last game too, because I don't have any Leeds or Leicester players going to West Brom, Fulham. Yeah, so that'll be my last player officially going on Sunday night. Swoop back up to my squad. Let's see. Guess where one of the World Cups took place? Are you from South Africa? There's a lot of places the World Cup took place. Italy, Germany. Camera went out. Italy, Germany, Sweden. Where else has been recent? Need some more water. Let's see. Don't really support Leicester. Chelsea all the way. Man, you walking around with a Chelsea jersey in Leicester, man, that's got to be quite the banter. I ran out of water. I got to refresh me water. The Chelsea supporter. So what do you think is gonna? Do you think you're gonna stick with that 3-man back line and have Chilwell and Reece James playing as wing backs? Is that what you think is gonna happen for Chelsea? And why isn't Ziyech playing as much? I know he's coming off the bench, but that's really loud, huh? That's really loud. I'll stop it there. Oh man. Let's see. I need to talk more. It's hard for me to multitask. I'm kind of one of those guys that never been good at multitasking. Really good at losing my attention, as all my teachers in my whole lifetime could tell me. Let's see. Liverpool supporter. What do you think is going to happen? How do you think Liverpool's going to do? Because right now the league's wide open. Van Dijk being hurt is a huge blow to Liverpool. I still think I probably have Liverpool as my main. They're probably still my favorites to win the league right now. But there's so many. It's just wide open, man. It's there for the taking. Let's see. United supporter. What's up, United? What do you think is going to happen with Cavani? I would like to hear your input on if Cavani is going to be more of a break in case of emergency on the bench kind of a guy, or if he's going to get into that starting 11. Be very interesting to hear what you'd have to say to that. Also, I know I've said it before in the stream, but I'm super interested to see how Alex Telles comes in and performs with this squad. A guy who gets so high up the pitch and sends in a ton of crosses. I would like to see how he does. South Africa, yeah. I guess South Africa first because South Africa is close to my heart, man. I love South Africa. I got 2 really good friends that live in South Africa. One of them lives in London now, actually. One lived in Joburg and one lived on like the South Coast in like a place called East London. He showed me a picture of his house one time. And I thought it was a postcard. Not his house, but like the beach by his house. And I was like, dude, yeah, South Africa is beautiful, man. I've always tried to go to South Africa because I have like things I want to do. I want to go to J Bay and go out to the beach there and go surfing and hopefully not get attacked by sharks. You guys have like the second fastest zip line in the world, if I'm not mistaken. One of the highest bungee jumps in the world. And there's just a ton of like just wildlife things I would like to do, man. Also, who's the actress from South Africa? She's awesome. Let's see. Also, shout out Malva Pudding. I think that's the 3rd stream in a row that I've talked about Malva Pudding and how badly I want to eat that right now. Also, if you speak Afrikaans, lekker bro. Watching from Cyprus. Shout out Cyprus one time, man. I've never been to Cyprus, but what's Cyprus like? That's awesome, man. See, this is beautiful. FPL really uniting the world. Shout out Cyprus one time. I think we might play 3 at the back against better teams, and Ziyech is recovering from an injury. So he's still trying to get his legs underneath him, Ziyech. That makes sense. Yeah. So 3 at the back against the bigger teams, and the 4-man back line against everyone else. Even then, I still think Chilwell is good either way. The thing for me is if they play 3 at the back against bigger squads, for me that only helps out Chilwell's value. So even when he plays bigger squads, I'm not worried about him at all. Man, I'm just a big Chilwell fan at the moment. Let's see. He's giving good returns every week. Yeah, he's getting super high up the pitch. As long as Pulisic is on that left wing and allowing a lot of space for Chilwell to run in behind, he's going to get good crosses. Chilwell was on corners. I don't know. Can you help me out? Is Ziyech going to take the corners when he gets healthy? Because as of right now, Chilwell's on him, which is a huge. And he has a good goal conversion rate for a left back over the years. And he's getting more forward now than he was with Leicester, I believe. His heat map is incredible. Let's see. Chilwell, yeah. So talk about that. Don't know at this point, but there are many teams that are playing well. Even small teams are playing. Yeah, I mean, Everton are looking great. Other than this week, Aston Villa was looking really good. West Ham is silencing a lot of doubters. A lot of people were picking West Ham to get relegated this season, and here they are playing incredibly well against very tough squads. Man, the Premier League is so much fun to watch. So much fun to watch. Let's see. Bamford is a guy I've always thought will stop performing, and boom, hat trick. There's always going to be one of those players, huh? There's always going to be one of those guys. Like, for me, last season I thought it would be DCL, or even this season, I was like, he's not going to keep scoring. But then I watched the game. DCL is a bit different this year because he looks really good. Really good on the eye test, and stats back it up. But yeah, it's tough, man. See, that's the beauty of FPL. You look at a guy and you think he's not going to perform well. Even in the first half. The announcers at halftime, we're talking about how Bamford needs to be replaced. Probably throw Rodrigo up high and sub out Bamford because he's not looking lethal in front of goal. He's getting into good positions, but he's just not finishing near what he should. And then he comes away with a hat trick. It's just Premier League soccer in general is just beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, it is Charlize Theron. Thank you. Yeah, Afrikaans. I speak a little bit of Afrikaans. My buddies speak Afrikaans. I hope this isn't like. I shouldn't say it then. They always call me Malungu. I hope I didn't say anything offensive, but they always call me Malungu, which is Afrikaans for like the whitewash from waves. Like when waves crash and you see that foam stuff, that's Malungu, right? So they always call me their Malungu brother. And I would always say Laka, bro. But yeah. Shout out South Africa one time, man. I think Ole will make Cavani an impact player. I think so too. I think Cavani has been underrated for quite some time. I think he's been a quality striker for years now. And I think just being on PSG, a lot of people kind of say Farmers League, he's doing it against a bunch of farmers, you know what I mean? But I think Cavani's a good striker. And the thing with Cavani, if Cavani's going to get a good amount of playing time and Telles is crossing a lot, Telles is going to be in for quite an amount of assists with how good Cavani is in the air. But we'll see. I'm super interested to see what Ole does with Cavani. I want to see Fondeby get more playing time. Let's see. Both will take the corners. They could, yeah. They both can take corners, I guess. Switch off from time to time. See if give Chilwell a bit of a break, not have him go forward as much. Sit back, let Ziyech take it. Let's see. Antonio is a beast. Antonio is so good. As far as like if you're into ICT rankings, there he is. He's 12th. But look at how he's done so far. This again, why I need another screen. He scored against Arsenal. He scored against Leicester, and he scored against City. He's scoring like. You look at like the only reason why I didn't have him at the beginning of the season was because of how tough his schedule is. You would look at Arsenal, Wolverhampton, Leicester, Tottenham, and City, and think this guy's gonna score maybe one goal. You know what I mean? It's gonna be tough. But West Ham are quietly creating a ton of opportunities for him. I think I squeaked again, and he's performing really well. I'm super curious to see what he's gonna do when schedule gets a lot lighter. Because after Liverpool, he's already played like 4 top 6 squads. Yeah, incredible. Let's see, where am I at? I'm going to have... And yeah, his goal was nice. That little bit of an overhead kick. Incredible finish, man. Antonio is so good. I'm with you, Controller Playa. Yeah, incredible. I'm going to have to head off now. Hey, it was good seeing you. Thanks for coming to the stream. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot, man. Hopefully the conversation was good. Anyway, thank you for joining and thank you for being interactive and everything. See you Thursday. Appreciate you coming on to the stream. I really do. Yeah, Antonio's goal was nice. Really nice. Let's see. Hey, just joined. How many points do you have? This week I have 27 points. 27 points this week. Whoop, go back to the squad. 27 points. But if I'm being completely honest, it was right there. Boom. But if I'm being completely honest, it's a very encouraging 27 points because Grealish had 2 great opportunities even though Villa struggled. So if you can get 2 great looks at goal with a struggling Villa squad, it's very encouraging to me. Antonio and Chilwell look really good. They came away with points. Salah had a goal taken away because of the smallest of offsides margin. Once again, Liverpool had an offsides call get called back. Robertson looked. We'll see. I still think Robertson looked good over the past few game weeks. I'm not worried about him for now. Martinez had 8 saves, something wild like that. Rodriguez definitely had a hurt hamstring. So there's a lot of. I still have 3 guys to go. And 27 points. As much as that sucks, I still think it's pretty encouraging. Yeah, time to rush into Man U players. Martial and Rashford on the wings and Cavani as a 9. That would be so good. If Martial and Rashford on the side, Cavani up top, Bruno sitting behind him, I think Bruno would be an incredible player to have because come game week 8, game week 9, their schedule is looking mighty fine. Mighty fine. Shout out Rihanna one time. Yeah, I think United players, I have a plan right now to get United assets into my squad come game week 9, which is why I'm going to save a couple transfers. But I agree with you, Moose. Mouse. How do I say it? Is it Moose? Anyway, I agree with you. It might be time. I know United are struggling a little bit, but it might be time to have him on your watch list and maybe get him in. That's so funny, bro. I never thought you would have known. Yeah, I feel like one of my goals in life is just to learn as many like phrases in different languages as I can. So when I meet someone, like for example from South Africa, I can say a couple jokes and then I use it as an icebreaker. So I try to learn as much as I can from other languages so I can have a nice little icebreaker, I guess. Also, I really want some malva pudding, man. I really want some bad right now. It's going to put me to sleep, but it sounds so good. Discord. I don't know if I have a Discord. I'd have to download it, but yeah, I could download it. But yeah, I'm also always on YouTube. I always reply to comments on YouTube, Twitter, all that stuff. But I don't know if I have a Discord. How did I say that like I'm 45 years old, like a Discord? Yeah. Let's see. Shout out Jack Black one time. I don't know why he just came to my mind, but he did. Yeah, you guys gonna be on Thursday? I would love to see you guys on Thursday, man. I try to find the best time for my streams to happen because at the end of the day, obviously, I got to do what's best for the audience. You know what I mean? So I try to go like 6 o'clock London time or 5 o'clock London time. So I think that's probably the best-ish time range for me. I could do. I mean, any time that's best for you guys would be something that would be what I do. Because that's like that 5 or 6 o'clock London time is about 9 or 10 o'clock here in California time. So I mean, I could do earlier. I could do later. I can't do later. I got work, but I could do earlier. But whatever. It'll be somewhere around that time as of right now. What are you studying? You say CT Vids. You say you're currently writing exams. What are you studying? Yeah, yeah. I definitely know there's no lions running wild in South Africa. It's not a giant safari everywhere. But I tell you what, man, I really, really, really want to go to J Bay. Really want to go there so bad. I'm just scared of great white sharks, and they have great white sharks, but they have great waves, so it's it's a bit. I'm in a bit of a conundrum. It's definitely on my bucket list of things to do. I've had a plan to go to South Africa for about 10 years now, and I literally have the events that I'm going to do written down on my old computer of like bucket list things to do in South Africa. Everything's already planned out. Let's see. I need to go to PE because I heard Port Elizabeth is like as far as like the night scene goes, as far as the Charlize Therons go, PE is the place to go. Let's see. Don't do earlier or later because I might have school. Okay, I'll do about 5 or 6 o'clock London time. That'll be on Thursday. Wilbur, what's up, Wilbur? I know you've had some conversation here earlier. I just haven't said the official what's up. I feel bad for not saying what's up earlier. Yeah, how'd you do this week? I'm glad we didn't have a bet this week because I feel like I would have lost again on our friendly wager of how we did each week. But how'd you do? Good to see you on the chat, man. Chelsea are starting to have good fixtures. Yeah, I agree. They're attackers. I really want to bring in Pulisic. Their fixtures ease up. They got Burnley, Sheffield, Newcastle. Tottenham's a tough one, but Leeds, then Everton, Wolverhampton, West Ham. Chelsea assets are going to be high on my watch list for these next couple game weeks. But for me, it's going to be, I don't know if I'll bring back Werner. I could obviously drop Kane to Werner if Werner is looking incredible. But for me, it's Pulisic and Chilwell are obviously I already have Chilwell, but those are the highest on my watch list. And I really am super curious to see what Ziyech does in a full game. Full 90 minutes, man. I'm really curious to see how he plays and how he fits into the squad. Because Chelsea still haven't had their full squad running yet. Because even with, like, Ziyech came in, but I'm not going to give, say, 20 minutes as full run time for that squad. And I'm super interested to see how that attack goes. Let's see. CT Viz, I'm in the final year of my school, currently studying business studies, accounting, engineering, graphics, and design. Dang, you're studying the works, man. You got everything going on. That's sick, man. Business studies, accounting, engineering, graphics, and design. Dang, you got everything going. Renaissance man. What's the other phrases? Master of the trade, tricks of the trade. Anyway, That's impressive, man. Final year of school. Hopefully you do well in your final year of school, man. I know I know school is a long grind. Let me make sure my computer's not getting out of battery. My computer is definitely getting out of battery. Let me plug it in real quick. Final year of school is a beautiful thing. Hopefully you end it with some good grades, man, and end with a bang. Ziyech or Van de Beek? Are we talking FPL? If we're talking FPL, I'd rather have Ziyech. I just don't think Van de Beek is going to get enough playing time to warrant it. If he was getting playing time, even then I would still like to see what he does. I plugged in. I would still like to see how he plays in this United squad. I'm a big fan of Van de Beek, though. I think both of them for Ajax looked really good. Van de Beek looked very creative when he played. I'm not saying Ziyech didn't, but I guess I like them both. I love them both, man. I would love to have either of them in my squad. If I had a squad I cheered for, I would love to have either of them. Ziyech himself, I think for Ajax he had like 4 shots per 90 or something wild like that. And when I've seen him play, he is not scared at all to send in a long ball. Like any pass, if he sees a pass that he thinks is on, he's freaking pulling the trigger, man. And I love it. Like I think last week, because I didn't get to watch him this week, but last week he had like Pulisic and Werner when they would try to sneak in behind enemy lines and get behind those center halves. Ziyech was just, I'll find you, and he would just chop it over the top. And he is more than capable of putting in a fantastic delivery. So I'm super interested to see what he can do, man. I think that's going to only help out Pulisic, who is, even though I know I am biased, but he's definitely on the top of my watch list, this Pulisic kid. Any last questions? I'll wrap it up here pretty soon. Head out. Getting any last questions, any last discussions we want to talk about FPL? I know there's a lot to talk about from this game week, but any last questions we can talk about real quick? I don't want to wrap it up just yet, but 5 or 10 more minutes. Let's see. I think I caught up on all the comments. But yeah, once again, this is my squad. I ended up with 27 points on my wild card. I'm not worried about 27 points. I feel like it's still encouraging for how my players played, underlying stats, and their fixtures are looking really good for these next few game weeks too. So I still have 3 to go with Son, Kane, and Lamptey. So we'll see what happens with them. My plans for the future are to hold 2 transfers to bring in United assets in game week 9, or even whoever's looking good. There's a lot can happen from now in game week 9, game week 8. But I'm planning on holding my transfer this week, depending on Antonio news and James Rodriguez news. Even then, I could probably have Lamptey come in for Antonio. I know he's playing against Tottenham, but I'd rather keep Antonio for the future than waste a transfer to bring him out, then bring him back in. Or James, same thing. I like him for the future. But yeah, that's my squad. Again, team selection video out on Wednesday. I think so. I think that's when it's coming out. Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on if I can get it done. Yeah, I think that's it, right? Yeah, anyway, got a couple more comments to get to. 32 points till Digne messed up. Oh. Digne. Waiting on Spurs boys to perform, fingers crossed. I hope they do well for you. That Digne hurts. What are you gonna plan to what are you gonna plan to do with Digne? Who are you gonna sub him out for? 'Cause he's out for 3 more games. Oh. How stupid of that was him to do that. Anyway. I'm not a Chelsea fan, no. I don't have a Premier League squad. The only squad that I really cheer for is Barcelona. I live in LA, so I'm or south of LA, so I'm an LA Galaxy fan. They got the El Trafico going today. They're playing LAFC. But as far as Premier League squads, I don't have any. I wish I did. I really wish I did. But it's hard for me. The camera went up. Yep. It's hard for me to pick a Premier League squad when I haven't really been to enough games yet. You know what I mean? So I was in Southampton. I traveled to Southampton with a buddy for a couple days, and I was there when Southampton got promoted, and that was dope. But I never lived in Southampton, so it's hard for me to go for them. I lived in London, so I lived right outside of Chelsea, really. But I never went to a Chelsea match, so I'm holding off on having a Premier League squad until I can go to a city, feel the environment, go to a couple games, go to a couple big games, and really then I'll decide what my Premier League squad is. You know what I mean? So I think, yeah. I wish I had a fan. I'm ready to commit. I'm ready for a serious commitment. I think I'm older and more mature now, and I'm ready to commit to a squad for the rest of my life. The question is just what squad is it going to be? Let's see. Yeah, send me your squad after this. Yeah, for sure. Did I see Ajax last match? They won. Yeah, 13-0, 45 shots. Ajax had 45 shots this weekend and won 13-0. I think Traore ended up with 5 goals, right? And if I'm not mistaken, 5 goals. That's some Lewandowski numbers. Ajax, man, I just love the system that Ajax plays. They do it right, man. I think Zlatan, who played there, right? I think he talked about it where if you were a young player trying to learn how to play really good football, you would go play at Ajax. Because you know that, like, if you go to a big squad, you might not get the playing time. And Ajax will get playing time, and you're going to play a great style, great system. So, yeah, Ajax is fantastic, man. 13-0. Good grief. Let's see. Did I bring in Kilman, or am I seeing things? Yeah, I brought in Kilman. Oh, I had Kilman from my Wildcard. I brought him in as a bit of an enabler, hoping he would go up in price so I can steal a couple price rises off of him. So I have him in my squad. Hopefully he starts. I have him in my starting squad for now. But again, if he doesn't play, not the biggest deal in the world. I have Lamptey coming off the bench. And then I still have Basuma who plays and Stroik who's going to get playing time. So I still have people who will come in off the bench and get playing time if Kilman doesn't start, if Antonio is hurt. But I do have Kilman in my squad, and I'm kind of just taking a gamble hoping that he can start this game week. And if he gets pulled in for 10 minutes, then, you'll see a bit of a sad dawn. Let's see. Brought in Kilman for Digne. Good move. The thing with Kilman is I don't know if Kilman is going to start for these next few game weeks. All I'm going to say is I'm not a Wolverhampton supporter. I wish there was a Wolverhampton supporter here that could talk about it more. We had a good conversation on Thursday about it. But Kilman has looked fantastic for 2 game weeks now. They pretty much threw him into the squad, I think for 3 game weeks now, if I'm being completely honest, right? Yeah, they threw in Kilman in week 4 against Fulham, and he's gotten 2 clean sheets out of 3, and the only clean sheet he didn't get was against Newcastle for that free kick that was just a thing of beauty, a nice little curler, nice and low. Even then, I think the keeper's blinded, but so he's played incredibly well for 3 game weeks now. And so for me, if I was a manager, it would be hard for me to bench him. But of course, Marcel's coming back, so Marcel could play left wing back, and Sykes can move back to his left center back role, and Kilman could go back to the bench. But I think he's warranted more than enough. He's given too much to consider, and I think that he has a great option at. The problem here is that if he doesn't start, you're now down a defender. You know what I mean? If you brought him in for Digne, you've essentially banking on him or taking a risk on him playing week in and week out. But I mean, there are worse options to have or worse gambles to take than Kilman at 4.1 mil. You know what I mean? But again, he's given his manager 3 great games in a row. He was on bonus. He got 3 bonus points last week, and he was on bonus points until they scored this week. So I think he had bonus points before that too, right? Because he didn't get an assist in that game. He had 9 points. So he had 3 bonus points. 3 bonus points in game weeks 4 and game weeks 5, and he was on for 2 bonus points in this one. Dude was playing incredibly well. Again, excuse my grammar. It would be hard for me to see Nuno bench him. I think he has deserved some more playing time in the future. Me personally, but it is a risk bringing him in for a Digne. If you're bringing him in for like a 4th or 5th defender, somebody who could potentially come in but maybe be on your bench, I think it's a great pick. But I really wish there were a Wolverhampton supporter here so we could talk about it more. Liverpool! Yeah, I shot at Liverpool one time, man. They have been phenomenal for the last couple seasons. I'm only a little salty because they beat Barcelona without... corner taken quickly will forever haunt my dreams. Yeah, my second keeper is just Steer, just a backup for Martinez. Is FPL Swan still here? Are you still here, FPL Swan? FPL Swan, I think I saw him do this. I think he retweeted it too. He had Steer in for Martinez, so he did this. he did this. So just in case Martinez got a red card and he was kicked out of the game, and Steer came in and saved a penalty, Steer would get all those bonus points, or he would get the point for saving a penalty. He wouldn't have the minus from a red card that Martinez would get. And if Martinez doesn't get a red card, then Steer just gets subbed off for Martinez. That's like next level thinking, man. So he literally has Steer in just in case Martinez gets a red card off the bench. Phenomenal thinking, incredible. So that's something I'm tempted to do next week as well. You know what I mean? Just save my team right now. Martinez on the bench. Incredible thinking. That's next level. Let's see. I felt for you when you saw Modric. Oh. That Modric goal. That Modric goal was a lot like Dos Santos did to Tim Howard years ago. If you look up Dos Santos and how dirty he did Tim Howard, I think it was a Gold Cup quite a while ago. And that, again, still haunts my dreams, man. That was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen an attacking player do to a keeper. Especially Tim Howard, who I love so much. And when I saw Modric do that, man, that was just... It was hard because I almost, I tipped my hat when it happened. I almost, see how frustrated I am right now? I can't speak, man. Yeah, when I saw Modric finish that, it was just, I just clapped for him, but at the same time, I just was broken inside, man. And that penalty was a bit soft. I don't know if I'm being Barcelona biased, but, I mean, I know he did grab the jersey, but just a soft penalty in the Clásico. But again, it is what it is. Ramos is going to score penalties. That's what he does. And Barcelona just aren't good enough. There's a lot we need to fix. And I don't know why we waited till the 80th minute, 82nd minute to bring on more attackers. You know, there are players. I don't want to name any players, but there are players who weren't playing to the level we needed them to, and they were. Move my screen over a wee bit, and they needed to be subbed off so we can get more creativity. And Koeman didn't necessarily bring anyone into the 82nd minute. I know I'm talking about Barcelona real quick, but I'm just so hurt, man. Oh, yeah, great composure by Modric. But Barcelona have a lot of things we need to work on. A lot. It's just, I just want to see Messi happy, man. I want to see, Messi hasn't had a goal contribution in 6 El Clásicos. Yeah, it's tough. Messi's like the all-time leading El Clásico goal scorer and assister, if I'm not mistaken. But he's definitely struggled for these last El Clásicos. He's, I just want to see him happy, man. I want to see him happy playing. It just hurts. Let's see. Enough Barcelona talk. I'm going to need some ice cream as I cry myself to sleep tonight watching Silver Linings Playbook. Listening to Big Crit sing, what song is it? Sing The Vent. If you're into hip-hop and you like a really sad and emotional song, Big Crit The Vent. Anyway, very tough to watch El Clásico. What do I know about Southampton? What do you want to know about Southampton? I don't know. I feel like I have a decent amount on Southampton. I mean, how do you think Shea Adams has been? Has he performed to what you were hoping to? I know he scored in these last couple game weeks. But I think I'm a big fan of Southampton, man. Big fan of Southampton. They look good. I'm a huge fan of Danny Ings. Does Sturridge have an injury? No, I think he just got pulled off because he got a yellow in the first 10 minutes, and he was making a bunch of dodgy tackles after that. And so he was on the verge of getting a second yellow within 30 minutes of the game, so he just got taken out early, which is very frustrating because I was hoping I can get some price value out of him, which did not happen. Mendy or Martinez? How much is Mendy? I think he's $5 million, right? Let me go. Camera went out. Yeah, Mendy's $5 million, but Martinez is probably 8, right? Yeah, they're only 0.2 difference. That's tough, man, because part of me says I still don't necessarily trust Chelsea defense, even though I have a Chelsea defender there. But Mendy's looked good. I think he has 2 clean sheets in his 2 games played, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head. And I'd rather back a big squad. Just basically, I'd rather back a big squad than back Aston Villa. You know what I mean? So that's a tough one. Maybe you go Mendy. Maybe if you can afford it. But Martinez looks Martinez looks great. He's still under 5 mil, and I have no complaints about Martinez in my squad personally. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should you go Mendy or Martinez? Let's see. Yes, I'll go to your comment in a little bit, Wilbur. I did see that, and I was hoping that someone would mention that because I definitely went off on a little bit of a rant after the game, after I saw that, because my buddy's a Chelsea fan and a Barcelona fan, and we definitely talked about that, and I'll get to that in a minute. Let's see, but Kilman has a good performance. I agree. I don't think you can leave Kilman out after how great he's performed. I don't think, I don't want to say fair, but I think as a manager, if I saw someone perform that well 3 game weeks in a row, and his first 3 starting game weeks, and they sign him for a long term, I'm going to see if he can continue this period. I want to see if he can keep it up. Yeah, next level thinking, really. Have McCarthy and Ryan as my keepers. I switched them based on their fixtures. I saw a lot of people thinking about doing that at the beginning of the season. How's that work for you, honestly? I know that they have really good fixtures. They've paired together really well. But I haven't really heard about it for a while. So has that worked out? Has it been performing well for you, doing that little switch? I think for the first 4 game weeks, if you did just based on the best fixture, it's done well, if I'm not mistaken. Fati or Greenwood? Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati is the youngest goal scorer in Champions League history, in Barcelona history, in La Liga history, in El Clasico history. This dude scores in every big game he's ever played, really. And that's no disrespect to Greenwood. I still think Greenwood is a phenomenal player. I think I'm just being biased with Barcelona, but Ansu Fati, I try to keep in for the longest time how I felt about Fati, because growing up in America, we had Freddie Adu, who we put all our hopes onto at 14 years of age. He never really panned out, And so every time I see a youngster come up the ranks, I kind of keep it with a level head. But Ansu Fati, man, he's the leading goal scorer for Barcelona right now. He has so much confidence. He's great on the ball. He's fast. He looks incredibly smart. He looks like he's putting in a lot of great work in practice, and he's consistently getting advice from the veterans and learning as much as he can. So his IQ is going to get better. Man, I'm just a big Ansu Fati fan. He's still only 17 years old. 17 years old. Still. Big fan of Ansu Fati. But if Greenwood's in a better team, I think he'd be fire. I mean, you saw what Greenwood did last season at United when United were firing, you know what I mean? And he looked incredible. This is no disrespect to Greenwood. I think Greenwood is a phenomenal young player as well. But, again, I think I'm just being Barcelona biased. But I think Ansu Fati is just... Dude, he is so nice. Big fan. I think he is... I just love the man. It's so nice to see young, promising talent for Barcelona come up La Masia. I feel like Adams is okay, but he relies on Danny Ings. I agree. I feel like I would stay away from Shea Adams personally from FPL from FPL wise. But man, Shea Adams has been performing great lately. Danny Ings, dude. Danny Ings is a freaking legend. That penalty was really soft. Yeah, so going back to this comment, that penalty was really soft. But did you see how Maguire did a headlock to Azpilicueta, but no VAR? Rashford was touched later, and VAR was checked 6 times. Yeah. I don't want to talk too much about VAR because VAR has just been a giant headache for so many players. But I will say this: that penalty that Ramos picked up, Lenglet shouldn't be pulling his jersey in the first place. It was very stupid for him to grab the jersey. There was no reason he should have done that. That ball was never going to make it to Ramos. If Ramos somehow managed to get his head on the ball, it was never going to go in on goal. So Lenglet should not have been pulling on his jersey. But that being said, it was soft. Maguire legit put Azpilicueta in a chokehold, and there was no penalty decision, which was a bit strange for me. And that Rashford one, every angle they kept looking at, I was wondering where the contact came in. I couldn't find it. You know what I mean? But VAR has been frustrating, and I think I'm just more upset with the Barcelona losing than anything. But the thing with that is that every time there's a corner, every time there's people in the box on a set piece, there's consistently going to be a lot of dirty play going on. There's going to be a lot of fouling going on. And when I see people shoving each other when they're jumping, I don't know. I hate to say it, but I just think like it's just the game. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think again, I'm just too clouded with how Barcelona performed to really. I feel like I should stop talking about this because I'm just so upset about Barcelona, man. Not off to a great start. Although Coutinho and Fati have been looked really good. Yeah, Sancho. I really hope Sancho comes to United. That'd be fun, man. Let's see. Little tip for you. Everton in Koku. Is that how I say it? Everton 4 mil. Will play the next 3 games. Very attacking wing back. I think he'll be playing. I think Gordon too. Gordon's playing at 4 mil, if I'm not mistaken. So there are two 4 million pound players that are playing. I think Gordon's out of position. I think he's playing right back, but he was a center back, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, and Koku at Everton is a good shout. I'll have to look into that at 4 mil. I'll definitely give that a look after this match or after this stream's over. The Chelsea keeper is 5 mil. I think Wilbur answered that. Mendy is a good, Mendy looks good. This team, he's not going to lose his starting job to Kepa, I don't think. Even though Kepa did cost a lot. I think Mendy looked good. And Thiago Silva's back. Azpilicueta provides great experience and leadership. Chilwell's a good player. Reece James is a good player, but they're more attacking wise. But I don't know. I still don't necessarily trust this Chelsea unit defending. But again, Mendy's looked good, so it's hard for me to say anything. If anyone went for Mendy, if it's a great differential, I don't know. Let me check how much he's even selected right now. Mendy. 2 games, 2 games, 2 clean sheets for Mendy. And he's not even 2% selection right now. And he has a really good amount of fixtures. Burnley don't score much. Sheffield don't score much. Newcastle don't score much. Tottenham and Leeds are a little tough. Everton tough. Wolverhampton don't. Wolverhampton a little tough, but Mendy's a good shout, man. If you're on a wild card, I would definitely give him some consideration. Definitely give him some consideration. Shea Adams' finishing Shea Adams definitely needs some work on his finishing. Let's see. But the good thing is it's hard to really. The good thing about Shea Adams is he's getting into the good positions. So hopefully the finishing picks up and his finishing gets there. But he's getting into the great positions, so that's the hardest part about being a striker is getting into the great positions and finishing. He's got one of them down. Now, let's see. A lot of people are saying we're going with Mendy. A lot of people are going with Mendy. I can't hate that. I trust Chelsea more than I trust Villa, even though Villa have been off to a great start. Let's see. Last few comments and I'll wrap it up. Considering going 4 at the back, I thought about doing that myself. It'll save you a lot of money upgrading to maybe a Zuma with one of my bench defenders and taking Podence out. Yeah, I don't know. Podence seems like great value because he's starting consistently right now for Wolverhampton, and he's getting in a great position. He's doing fantastic things, but he's just not providing that final assist, that final goal. So, and again, he still is a rotation risk at the moment, even though he did start a few games in a row. But 4 in the back is definitely a shout. It'll save you a lot of money so you can move into your attackers. But keep in mind there are a lot of goals going around right now, and I don't. Is Zuma gonna? I forgot who the Chelsea supporter was. Forgive me. It's been a long day. Is Zuma going to be starting consistently at center back? Because they might go. Because there's a lot of center backs for Chelsea, and I don't know exactly which one they would choose. If he goes Zuma, I would hope that he would start every week for you. Let's see. Defending, we are good. Oh yeah, Wilbur's a Chelsea fan. Wilbur, what do you think? Let's see. Defending, we are good. Oh, camera went out. Might be the battery this time. Battery's running low on my camera, so I for sure got to wrap up soon. Defending, we are good. Defending, we are good with Mendy and Silva starting. But without them, without them, you struggle. But that's why you brought Silva over, right? Because he's a phenomenal defender and he's been experienced, so he can bring a lot of value to that Chelsea squad. Now we have to start gelling, attacking, and being a competitive team. Yeah, 0-0 Sevilla, 0-0 United. That's the thing is a lot of people thought Chelsea were going to do so well attacking-wise, but again, there's a lot of gelling that has to happen. Ziyech is in a new league. Pulisic is with a bunch of new players. Werner's in a new league. Havertz is in a new league. So there's a lot of just they have to get accustomed to Premier League first off, and then they have to get used to each other. But they have so much talent that if they start clicking, man, Chelsea are going to go off, man. I can easily see a time where people are going to want double, triple Chelsea attackers if they could start clicking like we hope that I believe that they can. Let's see. I just personally believe since I have 2 starting keepers, I don't think I'm going to get Mendy because if you have McCarthy and Ryan, I think you're fine. I don't think you have to worry about going to Mendy. If you only had McCarthy or if you only had Ryan, especially Ryan, in my opinion, that move to Mendy would be pretty easy for me to make. But I mean, if the switching the keepers back and forth is working, man, keep doing it. Let's see. Podence looked really sharp. If you watch the match, he was bringing light to the game. Wait for Podence. He's playing really well, just unlucky. I agree. I mean, Podence, even last week, Podence looked really good. So he's 2 weeks in a row, he's looked really good going forward. And 2 weeks in a row, he got subbed off early for Traore. So, I mean, as far as the eye test goes, I squeaked again. As far as the eye test goes, I still like Podence. I still like him, and he's got a great price on him. But is he gonna? I don't know. I'm gonna be patient. He's still gonna be on my watch list for the future, especially if I want to bring in like Bruno or KDB. I could drop like I don't know James or Grealish down. Let's see. Zuma will always start with Thiago. All right then, Chelsea supporter, you heard it here first. Zuma, I like Zuma as a center back a lot. I really like him, man. I think he is more than deserved of that center back starting role. How much? Looks like it's just now in Martinez. Just now. Let's see. I think I answered that one. Zuma is injury prone, also, so it's a risk. Yeah, that's true. Zuma has gotten hurt in the past, but again, I really like his game. He got bonus points today too, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I agree. I just can't afford anyone better than Podence without downgrading. That's true. I mean, at that price range, I don't know how much better you could do. Should I go through some options real quick? Let me see what's around that price range. Let's go middies. Middies price 5.9. Let's just say that. I mean, clicks on penalties. McGinn has like the second most assists in the league this year at 4. He's creating a decent amount of opportunities. Costa looked good last match. Costa looked really good as far as eye test goes. I haven't done any stats on him, but as far as eye test, I think Costa looked really good. Ward-Prowse had a nice goal today. St. Maximin's I just don't like Newcastle too much. Who else we got? I feel like I'm on points now. Podence 5.5. Saka starts, but I just don't like Arsenal going forward right now. I think I missed a comment a second ago. Susek's. Let me see. I go back to comment, but yeah, there's some decent options around that price, but I definitely think the highest ceiling is probably Podence. Let's see where we at. Podence get 60 to 70 minutes. Yeah, that's a hard part. As you know, like Podence is gonna get subbed off for Traore. It looks like consistently. That's a hard part of having it. Is that a cat in there? Is that a cat in there? Serious? Oh dang. Anyway, yeah, I'm finishing up right now. Is that a kid or a cat? Anyway, sorry, a bit distracted. So I got to wrap this up. I got 5 more minutes, and I'll call it. What do I think about Bowen? The fixtures get a lot better come game week 8, and I think Bowen, as far as like FPL aside as a player, I think Bowen is really good. I would need to do more research and see how he is stats wise and positions he gets into. But as far as just a general footballer, I think he's a really good player. I think he's a good player. Zuma got all 3 bonus points. Okay, all 3. Dang, stole from Chilwell. If we cannot have Mendy, Kepa, we would have. If you definitely have Kepa, we would definitely be. Yeah, United match would look a lot different if under Kepa in it. Kepa for 70 mil. 70 mil, is that how much it was? Anyway. Bowen is a good call because he's always looking dangerous on the ball, especially now that West Ham are in form. Should I just do a quick research on Bowen? Quick stats? Let me go to him real quick. I like him as a player. I think he's a really good player. FPL, I'm not too sure. Let's see how many shots off he gets per game. Expected goals per 90.3. Pretty good for that price. 2 shots per 90. Good goal conversion rate, it looks like. I know this is a hard screen. I really need to work on that. Shot creation per 90. He's getting 1.97. So not terrible, not the best, but just quick stats. I like him, man. I think he's a good player. I would need to do more research as far as FPL is concerned, but he's a good player. Yeah, I thought McGinn just not convinced he can keep it up. Yeah, downgrade Bravo and get Grealish. Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. I honestly, I agree 100%. Trent is really depressing. 6 game weeks, no returns. He's 7.5. But that's no returns for a man that is averaging like an assist every other game for his career. It's really hard, man. But he should have had an assist today. He could have easily had one last week. And I know it's a lot of ifs. And if ifs were fifths, we'd all be lit. But yeah, it's definitely expecting more from TAA come this moment. Jorginho's a good shout. He's starting for Chelsea consistently, and he's on penalties. I don't know if he's not my favorite Chelsea asset, but he's on penalties. And he's a pretty good passer from what I've seen. Masuaku was so good versus Man City, and he's only 4.5 in a wingback. Really shut Mahrez down and Sterling. Yeah, I agree. I think West Ham are proving a lot of people wrong right now. Start Mitchell, Lamptey, or bring in Kilman for Dunn -4. I'd probably just start Lamptey. Lamptey has Tottenham, huh? I'd probably just start Mitchell, hoping that he can start, and if he doesn't start, have Lamptey come in. I just don't think a -4 for a defender is the best option, because best case scenario for Kilman is because he's not going to get any attacking returns, I don't believe. Best case scenario for him is a clean sheet, and that essentially would cover the -4 that you brought him in for. And he might not even start. So I'd probably just say start Mitchell or Lamptey. He might get a bonus point, so he might make 1 or 2. But I would personally start Mitchell, bench Lamptey, or vice versa. Can't believe I benched. Yeah, I remember we talked about that, huh? Wilbur benched Bamford. 18 points on the bench. And Hamas came in and played and got you 2 points. You're hoping Hamas would be benched. That's rough, man. That sucks. Just gutting, man. Anyway, any last minute questions so I wrap this up? Any last minute things? I gotta head out here in a couple minutes. But yeah, that's rough, man. Bamford on your bench. I feel like at one point I would have just turned off the game and just walked away for a little bit, turn on some Rihanna and listen to Love on the Brain or something. Because, man, that is gutting. That is gutting. All right. Yeah, any last questions? I'll wrap this up here real quick. If not, I don't know. As far as Antonio, I don't know if Antonio will be good. I have to wait to see what press conferences say. It's a hamstring injury, and hamstring injuries are very ambiguous. You don't know exactly what you're going to get from it. You could be out. He could be playing on Saturday, and you wouldn't be surprised. You saw with Hamas and Son, or he could be out for a couple game weeks. I hope that he's okay. I think even if he's out this week, I'd probably keep him because his schedule gets really good in game week 8. And Antonio is a G. He's awesome, man. My next stream will be Thursday at 6:00 London time. I usually stream the day before matches, and so there's a Friday deadline, so I'll be streaming on Thursday, and then I stream Sunday after the final match is concluded. So those are the 2 times I stream, and then I'll be dropping a team selection video hopefully Tuesday or Wednesday. And I think I'm gonna make this one a lot shorter. I feel like my camera went off, huh? My camera went off officially. I'm gonna change the webcam so I can end this. Put you in the Matrix real quick. Inception. Webcam. It's Kadoosh. Alright, I'll end this real quick. But yeah, I think I'm going to change my team selection videos. They were just too long. I don't think that's just the best way to do it. So hopefully I'll make it like a 6-7 minute video, make it a lot quicker. Hopefully that's better for the channel. But yeah, so I'll be streaming Thursday around 6 o'clock London time. Any last questions? Get them in real quick. I haven't made a decision who the best Batman is yet. I wasn't able to watch any Batman movies this weekend, so I don't have any comments on that. Let's see. Benny the Butcher's album was really good if you're into hip hop. Anyway, hopefully you had a great game week, man. Hopefully your game week went well. If not, hopefully this stream cheered you up a little bit as it cheered me up. And have a great week. Take some time out of your day to make someone smile. That's always the biggest thing. Life is hard. Life can be tough, and it's making someone smile is a beautiful thing that you could do to help make this world a little better. Anyway, team selection video Tuesday, Wednesday, stream Thursday. Have a great week. Thanks all for joining the stream. I appreciate it, man. I love all you guys, and have a great Sunday. And done out. And again, I wish this was the time of the stream that I had some music so I can have a nice little outro, but